We are now the head coach of the New York Giants, and we're into the final stretch of the season. Last episode was a little bit all over the place. We ended up walking out of there with 2 losses and 3 wins to our name. And looking at the schedule in front of us, this is our path to the playoffs right now. So today, we're going to try to get up to that #1 seed. The Cowboys have to lose 2 games, but if we win out, we do have a shot at the first place in the NFC East, but we'll see what happens. Looking at the playoff picture to start, we are the #5 seed. We do have to play the Packers. That is going to be an issue, but we also have the Vikings sitting at the 7th seed, so far we're looking pretty good. And just checking, the Vikings are 7-5, and we do have a lot of teams on our tail in this playoff race. It's actually just such a lopsided conference this year. 2 teams sitting at 1-11 in the NFC. And the nice thing is Drake Maye's finally slinging the rock for us pretty well. He was injured last episode for a game, but no worries, he's back and healthy for us. And we do have a nice upgrade point before we start our game. Saquon Barkley, we're going to apply it to elusive back, keep him up there. He's up to a 96 overall. I still don't have that superstar X factor yet from him, but the +1 injury is going to be huge for us. As going to our offensive game plan today, I do want to run it to the outside, get those stretch plays working, and I am still going to keep an eye on our fatigue rate, especially on our defensive side. Make sure everything's split, make sure our guys can regen as much as possible. And at this point, I am not running full pads at all for us, but it is going to mean nobody's going to get injured, which is nice. But speaking about injuries, Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be out for this season, 36 weeks to be exact, with a PCL strain, actually tear, I mean. But we're going to go ahead and place him on injured reserve. I want to keep him out of the lineup. We'll bring in somebody else to play, but also Micah McFadden's going to be out and Quay Walker, so our linebacking core is a little bit banged up. And with him being out, we are going to pick up Ladd McConkey off of our practice squad. I took a look at some of the other free agents available, but Ladd McConkey's still the best overall guy, so he's going to be back on our roster. And so for the second time, he's going to make a late season appearance. But looking at our offensive ranks right now, we're sitting at number 19, but bottom categories for rushing touchdowns. And hey, we're still doing pretty good with the giveaways. And then defensive rank, we're actually sitting at number 20. Sacks were first, takeaways were first, but it is just the amount of passing yards that we're giving up, number 22 in the league. But the Broncos in their right aren't that good as well. But so we're going to jump into this game. Starting out this game, we did select to receive, something we usually don't do, but I wanted to get our offense rolling today. And that's because I feel like every game that we've been losing so far this year has only been because we don't have a lead going into halftime. But that was a great catch by Keon Coleman to start it off. We're going back to the ground here with Barkley up for another good run. And it's crazy to think that we also don't even have a 500-yard receiver on the season so far. So we're already in a 3rd and 6, and we need to get something working here. And a pressure's coming. I backed up too much here, and that's Patino, and we're knocked out of field goal range. We are going to have the opportunity to pin him deep here as that ball just jumps over Travis Hunter's head. We could have pinned him down on like the 4. But coming out as a quarterback, I was looking at if we didn't go ahead and draft Drake Maye, Drew Aller, but he's off to a rough start with 11 touchdowns and 12 interceptions in his rookie year and leading the league in takeaways. I hope we can continue that because that would be absolutely awesome. But Banks is going to let up a huge reception to start this game. But after the Broncos did jump off sides, we're going to go here and swallow this run. And this is a passing down. We're bringing blitz, and Travis Hunter was almost there and could have made a great play, but James Williams can't figure out how to tackle. So it's our turn to make a stop here on 3rd and 5. We're going cover 2, and that was just a terrible coverage coming out. And the whole goal here was to get our offense hot, but it's really the Broncos getting hot in this one as Sutton just has more speed than Stingley. And so the Broncos already in 1st and goal. We're going across and out to the outside, and that was a perfect opportunity for Deontay Banks to get an interception. He cut underneath the route, and I think he overran the route there, and the tight end was able to bring it in, so the Broncos are on the board first. And this game really is a must-win because right now, we have 2 teams on our tail in the Washington Commanders and the Redskins. So we're going to have to keep this drive rolling. We need to put up points right away, and Barkley's so wide open on the flats here, and a spin move doesn't work, but we did pick up another first. But what's got me more stressed out is that both the teams right now are on a win streak in terms of the Eagles and Odell Beckham Jr. making a catch, but also Caleb Williams finally put it together. So this race is going to get tighter than ever. We're going to try to hit it quick in the slot up the seam, and Odell's going to get us down to the 2. And Barkley should be easy and able to walk into the end zone here, but he does get stuffed. Looking at the bottom of the screen, it's nice to see the Minnesota Vikings lost their game as we walk in with a touchdown to tie up this one against the Denver Broncos. With the Broncos coming back out on offense here, Sexy Dexy's got a good stop. But what I think is really funny is I'm looking at some of the social media posts. That's a good breakup. But the comments I get on that are people calling the New York Giants frauds because of the record right now against bad teams. And that's just how this series has worked so far. As a deep shot here, Dane Belton's going to be able to pick off Drew Aller for his 13th interception of the year. And that is a massive play coming out of the 3rd-year man himself, or 4th year. Yeah, this is his 4th year now. This is really his breakout for us, and I would not mind making him captain for next year. It's going to be interesting to see what we do with Xavier McKinney, because looking at it, he hasn't really progressed the way we've been wanting him to, but That's a good first down by Keon Coleman. Really, shout out Keon Coleman for showing some love on the Giants franchise. And we're actually going to go to him again right here, as that one's going to be undercut by the safety. A good play. I wanted to hit it up and over the top, and we weren't able to fit it in. But enough with going through the air. I want to go back to the ground here for hopefully a good drive. And it is Saquon making third down a little bit more manageable. But one of my goals for this game is really have to focus on the third downs that aren't too long. But with the blitz coming out, Daniel Bellinger with one of the best catches we've had from him since Giants franchise has started. I don't know what happened on that play from the Denver Broncos, but we were able to find more green grass than I could ever imagine as Moses parted the Red Sea, Daniel Bellinger parted this defense, and we were able to get in for one of the easiest touchdowns. A good juke move coming out, though. I've said a couple times this year he hasn't been able to juke at all, but that juke move, that worked for us. And it looks like it really just was the linebacker that bit on the play action, and he was just so wide open across the middle. One more time, I got to look at this juke move. Woo! Perfect juke move and broken tackle coming out from Daniel Bellinger. But with that, Jake Elliott is going to make this a 7-point lead for us, and I wanted to get our offense rolling. That was a big thing. 19th best offense in the league. We need to bump those numbers up. James Williams did go down with cramps a little bit earlier in this game, but I'm glad to see him back for us on defense. And the nice thing for our defense today is we won't have to go up against Javonte Williams at all in this game, but we will have to go against McLaughlin, who just breaks one to the outside. Nobody's there to force player, as that run completely gashes us for such a big game. But the sack up the middle, Nick Amrawari with the sack, the rookie safety being a James Williams 2.0 for us. That combination of just safety play is actually insane, as Banks isn't able to bring him down. Bobby Okereke, good hit, and it is forcing a 3rd and 12. So I am going to bring a 5-man pressure here. Let's hope our guys can get to the quarterback. Nick Amrawari coming again, and another sack back-to-back. That time it was only a 5-man pressure, and with the Broncos only leaving a couple of guys in to block, we somehow were able to get that one to work. A good club move coming out from Nick Amrawari for a good sack. And so the 5 and 7 Denver Broncos are going to punt this one to Travis Hunter, and we're not going to have the speed to get around, and that's going to pin us all the way down at the 8. But our offense has been working so far in this game, so let's go back to a good drive, and we do start off with a decent run. The problem is Barkley's just had a lot of struggles since we decided to move on from Tyron Smith, because honestly, Evan Neal was playing great at the guard position. Out to the outside, Keon Coleman, what a good first down pickup. And on this first down, I do want to try to feed the hot hand here, and Keon Coleman's got space as long as he's able to hold on to it. It was a cover 2. And so when you're trying to attack the cover 2, the corner is actually going to sit down underneath of that route, which leaves a little bit of space, a little gap where you can hit it in right underneath of the safety, and we were able to do it that time. Usually with how hard these sliders work, that kind of pass has just been hard to hit all season long. And so that pass is going to get us all the way out to just around the 50-yard line, and Barkley finding a lot of space here. Maybe I shouldn't have juked back inside, but that's a good 8-yard run. And it is time now to see if we can find Travis Hunter on the drag route. That's not going to work. Actually, it is last second, but we hit as we threw, which is maybe could have been a better thing for us, as we were kind of throwing that one right at the DB there. And on 3rd and 2, they are stacking the box against us, and I'm going to try to throw it up to the tight end, and that was such a bad pass. I didn't get a chance to even set my feet. Holy crap, I thought I had enough to set my feet, but the linebacker, is running, and Drake Maye got injured again. Are you kidding me? I lowered the injury slider so that wouldn't be a problem anymore. I feel like we've been hit with too many injuries in this game. So maybe I was able to set my feet, and we just got hit as we threw. I cannot believe it, but they are going to take a shot here, and in one play, they do get a touchdown. So just like that, the Denver Broncos, bad play from us, 100% by us. And the Broncos turn it around into some points here. We got a tied football game. And Drake Maye dislocated his wrist. Are you kidding me? And so stepping out at quarterback for us is going to be an unfamiliar face. It's not going to be Derek Carr. Instead, it's going to be Max Duggan. Derek Carr, he's just been playing terrible lately, into the point where his overall's been dropping anytime he's in, but Saquon Barkley's going to start him off with a good run. And I really hope Drake Maye's injury doesn't keep him out too long here. As to the sideline, Musgrave's got a good catch and barely able to tiptoe up the field, so Max Duggan has his first completion in an NFL game. It only took him a couple years to get it, but the man out of TCU, we're going to be wheeling and dealing. Let's try to put up points here before the 2-minute warning. And even though we don't have a lot of time, I am going to still keep it on the ground as much as possible. I think that's how we're going to win this football game here, leaning on Saquon Barkley. And if he's got to have 200 all-purpose yards for us to win a football game, so be it. He hasn't had that for us lately, as that one just gets battered around. But I really don't foresee us taking a lot of deep shots in this one, as Jalen Hyatt, that's such a bad pass. Throw it more outside. So we are now in a 3rd and 10, and they're going man-to-man across the board here, and I'm just going to try to scramble out. Can we throw this underneath? No, it's under pressure, and that one goes out of reach. So we do get a field goal. Max Duggan, though, not the best start in the world, but nonetheless, Jake Elliott's going to come in, and he's going to give us the lead once more time here. Jake Elliott, the strongest leg in the NFL, is going to put it through through to make it 17-14. The reason why I'm going with Duggan is actually Derek Carr dropped it down in overall by a lot thanks to his 2 losses he took and 3 interceptions. And it's really only the awareness rating that's separating the 2 quarterbacks right now, but a good sack. Nick Amrawari's got his 3rd one today, and they're going to have to punt this football away. I'm actually going to burn one. And it really looks like the rookie safety is having a breakout game for us here as Travis Hunter's not able to turn the edge again. So we are going to give life back to our offense here, and I'm looking around. I'm just going to throw this one away as this Broncos defense is just coming at us really quick here, but Saquon Barkley out open in the flats. You just have to outrun a linebacker, but that is finally another completion for Duggan. And so up at the midfield, we're going to run a play action. We're going to try to roll out here, and Belly's open in the flats if we can just get upfield a little bit more. And so maybe it's going to be possible we can actually get another field goal out of this. Dontavion Wicks, that's going to be a poor accuracy to him. So on a 3rd and 2 and 30 seconds left, we're going to trick everybody here and run the football as Saquon barely able to get the first down after recovering, and we're going to burn one. But we still have to maybe get to like the 34-yard line is where I am going to test a deep ball here with Keon Coleman, and he finally, the big-bodied receiver, makes a jump ball catch. Maybe all I needed to do was to give him a new quarterback throwing those deep balls, but Max Duggan out of nowhere, he gets it for us. And I love how we're lining up here with only 10 men on offense. We're missing a receiver for some reason. So let's see if Keon Coleman runs the right route. Obviously doesn't, but I am rolling to the outside here. Can I throw this to the corner? No, we don't. And I do step out of bounds. I was trying to throw it. So you got to love it when you only show up with 10 guys here, but I see him corner of the end zone. Keon Coleman, and he does get the feet in bounds. This is a Keon Coleman breakout game. I said it last episode. I've been just looking for one receiver who can really become the guy for us. I had to take a breath there, but has to become the guy for us because we need a receiver at least to get over 500 receiving yards on the season so far. And I thought that was going to be Jalen Hyatt, but finally we're getting a good breakout from Keon Coleman here today, over 100 yards receiving. And going into halftime, we already have 270 passing yards on the day for a team where we've only averaged about 240 a game. That is astronomically different than what we're used to doing. Having 320 yards of offense already in this game is actually insane as James Williams gets taken out, but they do start off the drive here with a good run. Max Duggan just seems to have maybe gotten our team a little bit of a spark there as a short throw underneath is going to give him enough for the first. I do want to get just one more interception on Drew Aller, but Sexy Dexy's been feasting in the middle all year long, leads the league in tackles for loss, but still, even in Madden, won't get the respect that he deserves as they just dump off to the running back here. Amrawari, another good tackle. He's having a day as well. So far, we're getting love from some unlikely players on this team as the pass goes errant, and I think that's going to be enough for the Denver Broncos here to punt middle of the 3rd quarter already. And look at Keon Coleman's stats so far. 109 yards receiving, 1 touchdown on 7 targets. That's also the most we probably targeted a receiver so far this year. And the idea of spreading the ball around just isn't happening today like it usually does, but that's fine. But Saquon Barkley rushes goes for nowhere. And because Max Duggan is in at quarterback, one thing we can do today is the read option a little bit more, but Barkley's going to keep it on the give. And we're just going to go back to that same exact play unless Keon Coleman here gets open, but the block from Travis Hunter just doesn't come out. No worries here. We are going to go to the air back again, and I'm seeing Luke Musgrave dragging. I'm going to try to dump it off, see if he can actually beat the defensive end, and he does. Luke Musgrave, what a good grab and run after. And it really looks as Duggan as this part is actually settled in, but he's not going to be able to break that tackle. They read it like a book, and Duggan takes a big loss. But our drive does continue. Like I said, we have to make 3rd down a lot easier, and I'm scrambling around with Duggan a little bit more than I would most people. But Duggan's going to get the first down on the run, and we're not sliding, and I'm just happy he didn't fumble the ball. But we're going to just keep feeding him here, and this is going to be a pull read with Duggan. He's a little bit tired. That's fine. It's a hold that came out. And these are the things that are just going to kill drives for us across the board. Andrew Thomas gets called with the hold. So that is going to back us up a little bit here. Across the board, tight coverage. Brevin Jordan's going to hold on to it, though. And it's going to be another one of these tight concepts here. Quick out to Luke Musgrave, and he's going to be able to break one. And somehow Luke Musgrave is breaking tackles, getting us all the way to the 33-yard line. What a good play after the catch to break the tackle. And that's why I like our offense. I like the way we built it so far. A lot of speed, a lot of big guys at the receiver position. But on offense and defense, with such a big emphasis on just getting athletes, we'll get the attributes up. As long as we get the body types and the athletes, we're making this team work. And I would really love to put another score on the board here, and I see him again. Keon Coleman is so wide open. Keon Coleman off to the races again. The speed's not going to be it all the time, but Max Duggan, 10 of 15 for 150 as we really just are feeding him today. And I'm looking for the out. Oh, I should have thrown it. I should have thrown it right away, but Max Duggan's going to carry it in for a quarterback rushing touchdown, something we don't always see in Giants franchise. But the 3rd stringer who overtook to become the 2nd stringer is going to be the one walking into the end zone for us. Such a weird feeling because usually when your starting quarterback goes out and your backup comes in, at least we haven't won a football game doing that yet. But this game was tied when Max Duggan came in, and he has come out and absolutely balled out for us. Nick Amrawari, another huge hit, but I really want to know much time Max Duggan is going to have to be our quarterback for, and how much time Drake Maye is going to miss with that dislocated wrist. But that does all lead us to the fourth quarter, where we are dominating 331 passing yards on the day, 104 rushing yards as well, with Duggan using his leg. So all we need to do is just have our defense bottle them up here. Nick Emerwar, we're going to be all over that screenplay. Even as a user, I'm making plays with him. Drew Aller in this game really only has 150 passing yards so far. He's going to add a little bit more there, up to 164 on the day. But we've really just been limiting the explosive plays across the board. That's how easy this is. And this is going to be a deep shot here with Banks. We're just going to swat this one away. I don't want to go for the pick because it's third down. Make it fourth. They got to punt this ball here unless they choose to go for it. And they are going to choose to go for it here. Quick to the outside. The pass comes in. Nick Emerwar wasn't there enough to stop him. And so the drive is going to continue. Quick underneath to the tight end, and Nick Emerwar breaks it up again. If he doesn't win Rookie of the Year, I would just be absolutely shocked as they go to another screenplay. We're there. Travis Hunter, Dane Belton bottling him up, and this defense too is just so full of athletes. You can really go man-to-man, zone coverage, anything you really need here. Out to the outside though, James Williams, who actually, I'll be honest, he hasn't been playing that great across the board, at least the past couple of episodes, but he's playing a lot more linebacker than even Nick Emerwar is. They go to another screenplay, and why is he running so slow? Is he tired so far already in this game? His stamina has been such an issue this season. It's actually crazy, but across the middle, is that Mims again with more speed beating out Deontay Banks? It is, and they're down at the 4-yard line. So I'm going to bring the pressure with the two safeties up the middle, and we're there, ready to stop and turn in that little bit of a jet play. Now going to the heavier packages here, they're going to give this one up the middle. There is some space for the running back, but Isaiah Simmons was able to bottle up Batty, and we are completely guessing run up the middle, and it is with the fullback Patrick Ricard. I think that was him, and it is Patrick Ricard, the fullback that used to be formerly with the Baltimore Ravens, is coming over to Denver and scoring touchdowns on us from that little fullback dive. So they did take a chunk out of our lead. No worries, we're gonna get the ball back here. Hopefully they're gonna kick us deep to us, and we're gonna try to go on a drive, run the clock down, and end this football game. And so all we need here is a couple of first downs, and we can really get our first Giants win with a backup quarterback as Saquon Barkley. Are you kidding me? The injury sliders all the way down to regular, like the regular injury slider that they make for Madden. And I swear, if we lose more players this season, it's going to be actually ridiculous. And so, but besides me losing my mind, we're going to go to a run. Pierre Strong's not able to get it. -3 yards for his first rush coming in. So we're going to have to pull off a good route here if we want to pick up this first down. I see window shopping, and that one's intercepted. We threw a pick with Max Duggan, and all of a sudden, the Denver Broncos are kind of in this game. Oh, but Saquon Barkley's fine. Luckily enough, he'll return. We need to keep him in the ball game because we need to run him a little bit more. And if it sounds like I'm getting a little bit tilted, I am. I would rather take another one of my quizzes. That one should have been picked off. Another one of my economy quizzes. That would have been great. I'd rather be doing that than having Drake Maye get injured. So our linebacking core is hurt. Our team is hurt. In general, Travis Hunter, can we break this one up? And we do with Deontay Banks. I saw Travis Hunter coming in on the blitz. We are almost able to get to the quarterback. Here we go, 3rd and 10. Can we just get the stop? That's all we need. Out to the outside. Travis Hunter, huge breakup opportunity, and we weren't able to get it. And they have the ball at the 8-yard line. So they are going to check to a pass here. Out to the outside. Tipped up. Good defense across the board. Is that Xavier McKinney and Stingley? It is. And I'm moving Deontay Banks out to the outside in coverage as they do go. And if we could get some reaction, that'd be great from Travis Hunter. We're not able to, as the Denver Broncos do score here. Tight end, I think that's rookie Mason Tyler, maybe second-year man. Mason Tyler is able to get in the end zone, and the Denver Broncos are right back in this ball game thanks to our absolute flounder. And so it's 14 points off turnovers for the Denver Broncos. Nonetheless, I see a huge lane here for Darrington Evans to run through. We weren't able to hit it that much, but it is time to put this game away here as Saquon Barkley's going to take it up the middle. Not for a big gain, but we are going to start draining that clock now. And one more play should take us to the 2-minute warning here. Maybe I'm trying to find the hole with Barkley. We're not able to do it. And I am going to run the ball here. I could try to pass for the first down, but I want to make sure we make the Broncos use one of their timeouts, because if this goes incomplete here, this could be very, very rough. But a run up the middle, and Barkley's got a lot of space. Barkley on the read option. We got it to work. We got the first down. We just need one more. And I am running read options. I'm going to try to keep this moving here. Is Barkley outside? Just stay in bounds. That's all I need from him. And we are just staying in this read option look. They just want to let us play the quarterback here. But Barkley, as long as he stays in bounds, should burn one. And then he gets hurt again, and that's going to give him a free timeout. Oh, that is so bad for our team here. Barkley, you're fine, dude. Why are you getting injured? It's regular. I mean, it is Saquon Barkley. Let's be real. He gets injured all the time, but still. And so that injury might have just gave this Broncos a second life in this football game, but we are going to try to run it here again. Pierre Strong making plays, and Pierre Strong is going to save this game for us on the run. But watch this. They have nobody out on Keon Coleman. We're going to throw it right away. And we're just going to run it with Keon Coleman. He's had such a good day so far. Just get down. He's going to pick up the next first down, and that's going to be game. That's going to be all she wrote. We're going to take it to the end screen. I want to take a look at the stats for this one. Keon Coleman, 147 receiving yards. We haven't even gotten a guy close to that all game long. He got a shoulder strain. Saquon Barkley, thank you for almost throwing, and we're going to knee this one down. And so after almost throwing this game, completely throwing, like taking it, throwing it into the dumpster, saying this game was horrible, somehow we were able to walk away with a win. Max Duggan, backup quarterback, came in, and we were finally able to put together some good offense with a backup quarterback. So he'll definitely be the backup going forward over Derek Carr. But now we have to see how long it's going to take till Saquon Barkley comes back. How long will it take till Drake Maye comes back? Looking at the stats first, team stats, 147 yards of total offense. That's got to be a record for us. Passing yards, Drake Maye did have 200 before he went down with an injury. That's kind of insane. Max Duggan, 150 as well. Both had a touchdown and an interception. And then running the ball, Saquon Barkley put up 103. Duggan came in and ran for 6 different times in this one. That's something we don't usually do. And then receiving, I got to go over to Giants only. Keon Coleman, 144. Something we haven't seen from any Giants receiver in such a long time. Daniel Bellinger also had 62. OBJ and Jalen Hyatt was down there with only 1 catch on the day for 26 yards. Nick Amorwari, we said he was going to have a great day on defense, and he did. 3 different sacks, 4 TFLs, and then Dane Belton coming up with another huge interception, as I think he's got 5 now on the season, tying Deontay Banks. And going into the next week, we are going to be without Saquon Barkley as well as Drake Maye. So we're going to have Max Duggan and Pierre Strong hopefully try to lead our offense, because they're going to be out until the playoffs. And with Barkley out, I'm going to sign Ezekiel Elliott to come on to our team. And because of this, we're going to cut Kelvin Joseph. And our defense is still dealing with some fatigue issues, but the defense for the Cardinals is actually really bad this year. But we do have a lot of upgrades going into this week. Xavier McKinney's up first, and I'm going to put it on zone coverage. He's the one safety who we don't roll down into the box a lot, and the +1 awareness is perfect for us, and the +2 zone, I'll take it. And then from there, Isaiah Simmons, make him more and more of a run stopper in the middle. That's going to be huge for us, and let's see what he gets it on. The +1 block shedding's big because he has been taken out by some big linemen this year. And with Dane Belton, I do want to put it on hybrid. I was thinking about putting it on run support, but I want to put it on hybrid because I want to split him in between, and the +1 speed from him is huge, because going over now, he's up to a 92, which makes you a little bit more comfortable about if he's in that little slot position. The last one is Ladd McConkey, the former Georgia wide receiver. He's got a little bit of playmaker boost across the board, up to a 73 overall. I can see him eventually getting playing time with us, but I'm not sure right now. But it's time to jump in and play one of the worst teams in football. So coming out, Kyler Murray's going to be up first for the Arizona Cardinals, and across the board, he is having probably the roughest year of his career. 11 touchdowns to 15 interceptions so far in this season. This Arizona Cardinals roster has just been atrocious across the board here. But starting out, Trey McBride, good little catch. And that's actually not Trey McBride. He actually left to go somewhere else. That's actually Brock Bowers, former Georgia tight end. So he was really used to winning in college, but not here in the NFL. But that's going to be somebody in this game that we definitely need to shut down as they hit us in the window there. Michael Wilson, the guy out of Stanford's got a good grab. But our team this week is just going to look so much different across the board without Drake Maye, without Saquon Barkley, without Bryce Huff. I lowered the injury slider. None of these injuries should be happening anymore. But I need to start paying attention, especially when we go into this next offseason, about the injury rating, because that's going to have such a big impact across the board. As a nice pass underneath, a good breakup from Dane Belton. That's going to cause a 3rd and 11 here, where they're going to go up and over the top, and a good pass coverage by Stingley. Maybe could have been a PI a little bit with the way Stingley was all over him. And Bryce Huff has a PCL strain, so that means he's going to miss at least the rest of this game, but maybe a couple more. But they are going to go ahead and punt it away here, and they weren't able to pin us that deep. But now comes out Max Duggan for his first ever career start. Pretty good in coming in of the injured Drake Maye. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That bad interception on the slant route. When you have a guy like this, usually you want to lead in a running game, but the running game's not doing too good either here. Saquon Barkley was injured, but Pierre Strong starting off the game with a great run. So maybe that'll just be our offense today. If this Cardinals defense is just not that good, maybe we'll just run it down their throats all day long. Maybe Darrington Evans will finally come in on offense for us. And it'd be crazy if we could hold Max Duggan under like 25 attempts in this game. That'd be huge, but Pierre Strong out to the open field again. We're opening this game with all runs, and it's just 3 runs. We got all the way down the field. Pierre Strong running out of stamina, but he's able to get in there on the read option. Good juke move coming out from him. And we jump out to an early lead in this ball game against one of the worst teams in the NFL. I feel like we played every single one of the worst teams throughout the first 4 episodes of Giants franchise. When we played the Raiders, they haven't found a win yet. The Cardinals here are 1-12 coming into this game. The Lions have had a super down year when we played them. But we are going to jump out to the early lead in this game. Our new look offense got things working right away in this game, but they're going to go out to the outside. Good catch by Michael Wilson on the sideline. And I really think today our bread and butter is going to be man-to-man. I looked across the board. They don't really have the wide receiver core to make any big impact. As long as Travis Hunter can keep up with Brown on the inside in the slot, and as long as that works, we should be golden here. But Banks is going to come up and make a great tackle on 2nd down to force it to a 3rd. And another punt here would be very nice. They are going to go to the play action, and we ran away from the safety help over top. I brought Dane Belton way down into the box. I thought they were going to go run. I tried to get really, really aggressive with it and left nothing at all over top in one burn. I was worried about Brown's speed. That was, I said, the only one in our receiving core, the Cardinals receiving core, I was really worried about. And they did burn us right there. So bad judgment call on my part. Also, I tried to click on the Stingley. Clicked on the Banks instead. That's how far away he was. The Cardinals tie up this football game in the first quarter. And so are we going to keep the ball on the ground? Absolutely. Pierre Strong just having his way so far. 4 rushes for 87 yards. As in this game, we are just fighting for a playoff spot. We just need things to work for us as another first down comes out from the running back. And really what scares me most is the Eagles are just right on our tail. Across the board, they're right there ready to catch up to us as Luke Musgrave's going to get banged up. He'll probably come back in though. And surprisingly, the stamina from Pierre Strong is working here. We're just going to keep feeding him the ball, but actually this is a pull read here. As long as Duggan can pick up the first down, there we go. And we may go a first quarter without even giving a single pass play, as if Keon Coleman can pick up this block. We're running, but Pierre Strong's running out of speed, running out of stamina. He's got over 100 yards in this first quarter. And at this point, I may manually sub in another running back to come in, as we do finally get bottled up, but it's still a gain of 3. And finally, Darrington Evans is coming in at running back for us, and he's got the outside a little bit. The juke move not working, but we do only pick up 1, so maybe finally we'll have to go to the air. And it looks like man-to-man across the board here. No, it is zone, as we're going to take a deep shot to the end zone here. Up and over the top, I went to Keon Coleman. We weren't able to fit it in there. It was a one-on-one against the safety, and it was Jalen Thompson in coverage there. I thought we were going to be able to fit it up and over the top, but Jake Elliott, we're going to take a field goal, no worries. And technically speaking, we still have not completed a pass in this ball game, no worries. We do have the lead though, so I'll take that going to the end of the first quarter. Sticking to man-to-man, I'm not rolling down the safety anymore into the box like that, but they do get out to the outside very, very easily, out to Brock Bowers, who breaks one. And I really want to make him Isaiah Simmons' problem today. I think that's how we're going to be able to make this defense work. But James Williams, I also trust him in coverage against him, but they do go underneath and Stingley, and we're not able to break it up. And that does finally bring us to the end of the first quarter, where you can clearly see 0 passing yards on the day so far. 128 rushing yards, though, is absolutely insane. And we are finally going to the nickel look here in this 5 wide, and we're going to run here with Brock Bowers, but it's going to be Kyler Murray just taking off, breaking, spinning, and he finally gets brought down, though. Gain of 14 for him, and they're inside the red zone now. What I'm going to be doing for a little bit is at least bringing in a QB spy. I think it's going to work, but Spears has got a lot of space to the outside. He's going to carry this one down to the 4-yard line, and the Cardinals are looking ready to score. And I expect them to go back to the run here, but they don't. They go to the air, and it's a slant route coming out. Brown's got his second touchdown of the day, and just like that, the Arizona Cardinals have a lead on us. Our defense is just not working in this ball game so far. I need to force a 3 and out, get something going, get maybe a big turnover to switch the momentum. On this drive, I do finally want to go to the air a little bit more. I think that's going to be a good thing to get Max Duggan finally rolling. And one of the ways I think we can easily do that is just the play action. Simple as that. And I see him there. Jalen Hyatt with a good catch. And he's just going to go out of bounds, but that's going to be a gain of 22, and we finally have our first completion in this ball game. And I'm feeling it. I want to go right back to it here, and Daniel Bellinger should be wide open in the flats, and he's not. But if I can get a little dump over the top, and we can't get it, bad accuracy coming out. But that would have been a Keon Coleman, who had such a great game last week here. But Brevin Jordan got in front of me, pick up the block, and it does make it a 3rd and 1, but still, if we got the block there from Brevin Jordan, that could have been a lot more. And so to pick up this first down, we're going to bring Daniel Bellinger in motion, a little slam concept here up the middle, and it is going to get enough to work. And so I am now going to bring Ezekiel Elliott in at running back to see what we can do with him, and he's just a horrible speed. I tried to do a special play to the outside. Could have cut it up there, but holy, the speed is just not there. And after the one run, he is already tired in this ball game. We're just going to go out to Keon Coleman. Was it a one concept read? It kind of was. I was kind of staring him down the whole way, but we were able to fit it in, making 3rd down a little bit more manageable for us. I'm going to break this to the outside, look to scramble. And I'm just going to take off with Duggan here. If we can get the first down, and we do, and that's going to be a huge first down scramble. Duggan moving a little slow there, not like he was last week, but he was able to pick up the first. I guess the best way to keep your offense rolling right now is to go to Darrington Evans in the flats. Darrington Evans finally. Every single player on our roster now has a reception outside of Ladd McConkley, who we just picked up. But something I haven't ever done in Madden, I don't think, is get every single player on our roster a reception. We have so many guys with over 200 receiving yards this season. But Darrington Evans was the last guy on our roster, needed a catch. And that's absolutely awesome. But I was going to say, the offense is working the best when you can take the ball out of the hands of your quarterback and get it in the hands of the playmakers to make plays early and often, especially in the run game. We take back the lead from the Arizona Cardinals here in the second quarter. And so coming out, I just want to stop Brown. That's really all I want to do. He's got 2 touchdowns on the day already, but holy crap, the running back wheel is going to be big to start it off, and we're going to get hit with a penalty after the fact. And that personal foul is going to give them another 15 yards added. We really haven't found a system that's worked so far, and the running back wheel's wide open again, and they're going to be all the way down, making it a 1st and goal, just like that. 2 running back wheels, 2 easy catches, and they're already down, ready to score. The bringing pressure's not really working. They're going the wheel routes again, but Deontay Banks jumps the route there, and Deontay Banks is going to have open space to run. I cannot believe he jumped the slant route going to Michael Wilson. He is getting chased down by Martinez. Nonetheless, Deontay Banks with the incredible pick 6 before halftime here. I have to see this one again because that's one of the best interceptions we've had all season long. That'll give him 6 on the year. This one returning it 100 yards. You see him just jump the slant route underneath. And one of you guys in the comments, I think in episode 2, told me to start playing more underneath with the corners. I did it there, and it actually worked. I cannot believe it, breaking 1 tackle along the way. Maybe we should move him to offense with the way he's moving with the football. But we're going to have 24 points now going into halftime. But that is, of course, unless anything else crazy happens, is that A.J. Dillon there on the run, the big power back coming over from Green Bay. As ever since he left Green Bay, he actually bounced around a couple teams there, but Brock Bowers just getting open in coverage, and Brock Bowers off to the races. We're not able to give chase, and I have to go back. I need to see what happened there. I think that was James Williams in coverage, and I'm getting so tired of him playing slow, having stamina problems. Just every single week there's an issue with James Williams. As in coverage, yeah, he got completely stuck up. I want to see this one more time here. We're going to the instant replay. James Williams in his linebacker spot there covering, and he comes downhill, and he just gets stuck up on absolutely everybody. Completely blown coverage across the board. And so somehow it feels like we're going into a shootout with one of the worst teams in football. And we do have the opportunity to run just once, so I'm going to take it here. Safety coming down hard into the box, and that's going to be bottled up. And this is a risk, but I do want to get into field goal range. Here's a bad throw coming out from Max Duggan. And so just like that, it's already 3rd and 10, where this could spell doom for us, but we are going to scramble out, and I just have to try to dump it off here. We're getting chased hard by the big safety, and we're going to have to punt this football away early, with this drive being a complete disaster. And unless we can contain Martinez here, they're going to have a good field position in this one with 1:43 left. And we know they're going to go to the air here early and often. I'm running to the outside, and they do throw underneath there to Spears. And I see it now. Kyler Murray's already almost up to 300 passing yards in this game. 279 off of only 11 passes. I'm sorry, that just cannot happen in this ball game as they go quick to the outside, and we try to go for the breakup, not able to get there. But we are going to continue to bring this pressure here as they do just jump it off to the running back, and James Williams is just so slow again. Maybe it's a Thursday night football game. Maybe it's something else. I don't really know. It's another blown coverage. We're just having so much trouble. All of our guys are tired across the board. I did split. I did half pads. Anything to keep our guys' stamina where we need it to be. And I'm finally going over to look, and this is ridiculous. We're just blown coverages, not working across the board. I'm trying to find right now formations that our guys are just not tired in. And I also just have to get away from man-to-man coverage. I think that's what we need to do right now, is I do burn one, as we can't just run any of our bread and butter in this game at all. But with one timeout, they do have the opportunity to try to run it on the goal line. I don't think they're going to go for it here, and Spears isn't going to be able to get out of bounds. They're going to burn one. I think they're just going to take the field goal at this point, and they are going to go ahead and knock this one through. So it was a very eventful end of the second quarter. We go into halftime tied 24-24 against the worst team in football. And looking at the stats, we're getting absolutely beaten up through the air. 330 passing yards so far in this game. And looking around the league, there is a couple big games that we need to keep an eye on here. The Commanders are playing the Lions. We need the Lions to squeak out that game there. But then also, both the Vikings and the Eagles are fighting for a playoff spot for the wild card beneath us. Whoever loses, whoever wins. I'd love to see the Vikings win because they are 1 game behind the Eagles for that last seed in the wild card. That would be a huge game for us. But then also, we need the Chargers to beat Dallas if we want to even have a chance at the 1 seed. And coming back out, my data did corrupt for this part of the recording, but nonetheless, I'll fill you in. Touchdown for the Arizona Cardinals. First, Max Duggan on the opening drive coming out of halftime. Fumbled. Arizona Cardinals turned into a quick score. We drove down the field and eventually found Keon Coleman for a score of our own. So all we did was traded scores, and we continue this shootout now, picking up 3 minutes left in. We pick up this now, 5 minutes left in the third as they go for some deep shots here, and Kayvon Thibodeau finally getting to Kyler Murray. We've led the NFL in sacks for a good portion of this season, but we haven't really been able to get to the quarterback as much as of late, especially from the four-man pressures. Only when we get there is from the extensive blitz from Nick Emirwari or James Williams, but they do go to the air here underneath, and that one's tipped up by Sexy Dexy, the short quarterback, and Kyler Murray not able to get it, setting up a 3rd and 13. And this is where I want to bring the blitz, and they do not keep Tajee Spears in, and Nick Emirwari now 4 sacks in 2 weeks for us. Absolutely balling out, getting help from unexpected places here as a rookie stepping up. We're getting Max Duggan to step up for us, and Pierre Strong quite literally having a career-defining day for him. I was not going to think about keeping him back, bringing him back after this season, but it looks like now we are, as Travis Hunter on the return here is not able to break it to the edge. They're coming back out on offense. I want to run the ball here with Pierre Strong a little bit more, and what a good block there from John Mitchell-Smith as Pierre Strong's going to break it off. Now getting up to 162 on the day on only 14 carries. We've been updating the sliders as we go along in this season. At this point, I think the run blocking slider for the user set all the way down to 23 at this point, which has been making it very tough to run the ball, but I guess not for Pierre Strong as he breaks off another good one. And I do want to use it to set up the play action here as quick to the inside. If we could hit it, and he gets completely jumped. That route was completely jumped. He had him beat, but the corner came back underneath, and at 95 speed, I didn't really think that anybody could catch up to Jalen Hyatt like that, so a bad pass coming out from us as Marco Wilson returned to the Cardinals. No freaking way he returned to the Cardinals. That's actually incredible. So that one quite literally leaves a really bad taste in your mouth here as they go out to the outside. Brock Bowers, who's having his own day there. But our goal here, force him to another 3rd and long. I'm watching the running back out to the outside. Dane Belton, why'd you break off in coverage? He just stopped running, as actually his feet was out of bounds. That one's not going to get reviewed, and we're going to have a free rusher here. Dane Belton's able to force the incompletion. So on another 3rd and long, we bring another pressure. This time, Dane Belton coming all the way down from the safety spot, something we don't usually do, but it did work out for us as Travis Hunter is going to have a shot for a return here, and I would love to see him finally break something here out to the outside. Not gonna happen. Davis in coverage there, but Pierre Strong 162 yards today. I cannot believe the day we're having with him as he's really playing himself into another contract here as we're going to try to go to the outside. Juke move coming, but I love the spinning and falling forward, and it's really the less throwing the ball we need to do, the better. Here is another broken tackle coming out from Pierre Strong. That's insane. He's up to 178 now. I think only one time in Giants franchise so far we've reached numbers like that, but if we can get Belly to catch this one here, that's huge. We try to go for the hurdle. It doesn't quite work. But we are inside of the red zone, and this is going to be a Max Duggan pull. And if the juke move can work out, and it does, we're able to get up a good chunk of yards there. Evan Neal a little bit banged up after the play. And so this is a huge 3rd down so far in this game. And if I can get Keon Coleman wide open, we do. Keon Coleman's got his 2nd touchdown in this second half. You missed the first one. I got you a second one there. Keon Coleman able to get in on a nice little deeper whip route than usual. That one took it about 5 yards. Right to the sticks is what we needed, but the coverage bit in. He broke to the outside, and so the shootout with the Arizona Cardinals continues. Max Duggan, I love it, man. Just keeping us in ball games, something Derek Carr wasn't able to do, and the sliders continually get harder, so he's facing harder competition when it comes to the sliders than Derek Carr did. But for those of you asking, I will probably make a sliders video after Giants franchise this season finishes up, as Evan Neal actually goes down with a pretty nasty injury there, torn labrum. And I get it, people are coming after me like, oh, you set the injuries too high, you make it too much of an impact on the game. But in a realistic NFL franchise, you're going to have a ton of injuries. I remember one season, I think the Los Angeles Chargers had over 20 members on their team on the IR. And so injuries are just a real thing. But the score is 38-31. We only have 128 passing yards, 229 yards on the ground, and we are leading the Arizona Cardinals, who are 1-12 on the season. But yeah, injuries are a real thing over the course of the season. You're going to have game-defining, season-defining injuries that are going to happen, whether you lose a starting left tackle that's a 90 overall. It happens. And for us in this season, it's really just been our linebacking core and our interior offensive line now, because I don't think that Kenyon Green is going to be back in this game either. So that will cause some problems for us as they do run a counterplay. We're all over it. James Williams still a little bit tired. I'm tired of talking about it, but he is able to finish up the tackle there. We are just sticking in zone coverage across the board. Dane Belton's not able to finish off this one. Stingley's able to bring him down, making it a 3rd and 2. We made and got off our blocks there with Sexy Dexy. It probably would have been a 3rd and about 8. They want me to go coverage here, but it's just not going to work. We're just going to sit. And that lineman came very, very far upfield and engaged with us, I think 3 yards deep, but they were able to pick up the 1st down pretty easily there as they go across the middle. Again, I ran with Brock Bowers a little too much. So we are going to be coming back out in zone coverage here. I only want to try to rush 3, something we haven't done, and it's going to be a run up the middle with Tajee Spears. I backed up a little bit too much with Bobby Okereke, and Tajee Spears quietly having not a bad day. 11 rushes, 46 57 yards. But at this point in the fourth quarter, I need something to go our way in this ball game. Is underneath. We're just too slow with James Williams. I just can't move with him, and I need to just completely take him out of the ball game. So we're back to the 5-2 here once again. We're coming out. Pressure's in the face, and that's Dante Corleone, somebody who has not gotten a lot of playing time for us. He was a draft pick back in Giants year number 1, and Dante Corleone's able to come in for the sack. He struggled with injuries a lot. Back before I even adjusted the injury slider, he was breaking his collarbone, hurting his wrist. And so it's finally nice to see him actually getting on the field for us a little bit here. And we're going to bring him again here on a little zone blitz. And it is working. And this time, Bobby Okereke gets a sack. So back-to-back sacks backs him up to a 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line. That is our 4th sack on the day so far. So we now are only going to rush 3. And they actually go to the ground with A.J. Dillon. I'll take that all day long. They're conceding. They're going to give in to the field goal here unless they decide to go for it this late in the ball game with only 3 minutes, 45 seconds left. And it looks like they're not going to do it. So that's going to be perfect. They're going to take the field goal. We got to get a couple first downs running the football, which is something we've actually had a lot of success with today. So we may escape this game alive here, but it's all going to be about making absolutely no mistakes on this drive here. As Darrington Evans, good little kick return to start. And forward, I just want Andrew Thomas to win this game for us right here, but we can't get the blocks from, I think that was Brevin Jordan on the outside. So not the best start on this drive, but we are going to go back to the run here. He gets held up. Jack Nelson easily allows his guy to get off the block. And so we're now past the 2-minute warning. We're going to force him to burn a timeout here. And if I can get Duggan to go upfield a little bit, he's not going to be able to do it, but it does force them to burn a timeout. And so we just need good coverage on this punt, and it looks like we're going to get it here as they do fair catch it at the 23-yard line. So Presley Harvin with such a good punt here at the end of this ball game. But we just have to play good coverage across the board. We know they're going to go to the air. We know we just need to tackle them underneath, continue to let this clock run and milk it down. Kyler Murray's, he's going to top 400 passing yards of this game, but I'm also too afraid to run the nickel right now. That's how our team has gotten as they go up and over the top here, and Michael Wilson gets behind us on the little corner route, and I really am just checking this formation to see if we can bring James Williams in. It is risky business whenever we go to him here, and he's going to be man-on-man underneath. Cordero Flott's in at safety, too, so we could bring some help as they do go underneath. Easy caught, but the clock's going to continue to spin, and they are sitting in hurry up here, and it's actually fake to Brock Bowers. That's actually hilarious as they do find a guy. Michael Wilson, I go for the hit stick. That doesn't work. Clock continues to go. They are inside of the red zone at this point in the game, and Stingley, it hits you on the leg. Just turn around. That really could have been the game there, but we are keeping everybody in, and James Williams gets burned up the seam down to the 1-yard line. With timeouts here, they can just run the football if they really want to out to the outside. It was a little bit of a pick play, and the Arizona Cardinals get into the end zone. So this late in the ball game, 25 seconds left, the Cardinals take the lead here. The 1-12 Cardinals. This is a game I could not afford to lose, and our defense absolutely squandered this Thursday night football game. We got to try to do something with 25 seconds left. And it's all going to start here on this kick return. Darrington Evans, we need a good one out of you. Out to the outside. He's got a little bit of space. Does get chased down by Owen Papawa. Now there's 19 left on the clock. They know that we're going to try to throw it deep. I'm going to try to throw it underneath. And if that was caught by Travis Hunter, that would put us in a great opportunity to get into field goal range. That one really just hurt. Here's we're going to go out to the outside, let up and over, and it's knocked down by the corner. So across the board, it's time to take a deep shot here, and I see him. Wait a second. Odell Beckham Jr. up and over the top. Odell Beckham Jr. beats Williams. He's got space. There's 2 seconds left, 1 second left. If he got tackled, that would have been game. But holy crap. Odell Beckham Jr. saving the football game for us here. Up and over the tops. Max Duggan's the absolute hero with no time left. Absolutely just dusting him off of it. And with pass reaction and pass coverage all set to 99. It's ridiculous here as we go up and over the top of Williams. I get it. They were tired too. But somehow OBJ saving the game for us. The Giants legend returns. And I cannot believe the catch that he just made. And this is what I just saw instantaneously, right? This amount of separation on a receiver here. I was actually going to think about going to the slot here and trying to have Brevin Jordan in a speed mismatch. And that didn't work. And then I was also looking over here to Keon Coleman. But Keon Coleman did get a little bit of a jump off. But he only had about a yard or two of separation. This amount of separation here, 3 to 4 yards of space, allowed OBJ to easily run underneath of it. It still wasn't the best pass in the world. And then with the clock coming down to the wire, he was able to run it into the end zone. So we are going to get an opportunity here. We do have to kick off. But luckily enough, Jake Elliott's going to make it a 4-point game for us. 45-41 is the score. I cannot believe we got that play to work. And we are going to be smart about this, right? Our defense, I don't think, maybe gotten 2 stops all game long. We're just going to squib it, make them return this one. As long as we can make the tackle, we'll be just fine. Tyler Boyd with the catch, and the clock goes to 0. And somehow, And this ball game, with everything that happened, including my corrupt data file for quarter number 3, which sucks, but move forward, we walk away with the win in this ball game. Max Duggan, 2-0 when he needs to come in for us and play quarterback. Pierre Strong, 180 yards on the ground in this ball game. He actually had 4 passing touchdowns as well. Yes, he had the 1 interception, but 4 passing touchdowns on only 10 completions is actually insane. Pierre Strong, 178 yards on the ground for us. Max Duggan also added 60 in tow. And receiving-wise, Keon Coleman, 45. Daniel Bellinger, 44. Darrington Evans getting involved. OBJ with only 1 catch, made it for 77. Travis Hunter, that drop was crazy. And then on defense, can't forget the pick 6 coming out from Deonte Banks. That was huge. A couple good sacks across the board for our guys. And I need to make a decision on him. I may bench him for a point just to get his stamina back up. But surviving the disaster that could have been against the 1-12 Arizona Cardinals, we're going to move forward and on to the next week. And so we're at the final stretch now of the seasons, week 16, 17, and 18. And we're in a little bit of an interesting situation because the Eagles are sitting at the 7th seed, and they're only 1 game behind us. And so looking at it, yes, we're 10-4. Packers are right behind us. Falcons, Eagles. This is just a really tight race right now. Behind the Eagles is going to be the 49ers sitting at 8-6. And looking at our offense, we still have an interesting situation there with Max Duggan at quarterback. But Luke Musgrave's also going to be missing time. Same with Evan Neal at right guard in this one. And the nice thing this week is both Micah McFadden and Quay Walker are back in. I got to move them back in the lineup. And we do have a trench boost for this week. And it's all up to the amount of rushing yards we get. I don't know how much we're going to rush against this Cowboys good defensive line, but we will see. And the Cowboys are very, very hot, so we're going to choose to be confident in our next press conference. And the Cowboys have won, I think, 7 games in a row right now. Actually, the last time they did lose was to us, and all of their players have +10 break tackle for this game, so that makes the receiving core even more dangerous now. But we also have plus break tackle for this week and play rec. See, that's what I need. And going in against Dak Prescott, I want to stop the medium pass. I feel like up and over the top deep balls we can do good with, but stopping the medium pass is going to be huge for us. And us on offense, it's just going to be throw it short. We're going to split across the board. Hopefully, now Zeke will be less tired and he'll be able to get some more reps for us today. Had 1 run for us last game for absolutely no yards, but I digress. We continue, and it looks like our defense coming off that Thursday Night Football game is back with no issues with the stamina, and our offense is good to go. So we do have some upgrades, and it's going to start with Keon Coleman. I know we put it on playmaker before, but I want to put it on physical. I want him to be a jump ball receiver for us more. It's such a big body. He needs to be able to make those catches. The catch in traffic and the spec catch, I will take it. And Malcolm Rodriguez, who got a little bit of playing time today, we'll put that on pass coverage. He just hasn't gotten too much playing time for us, and I don't see him honestly playing with how our linebacking core is developed. But Kenyon Green, this is a big one. I need to put on pass protector. Are the pressures that we've allowed up the middle have been destroying our quarterbacks. Ergo, Drake Maye's injuries. But the last one is Pierre Strong. We're going to stick it on elusive back. He's up to a 76 overall with the boost. You love to see it, but he got nothing from that upgrade point. And a cool little thing to note before we jump into the game is that Deonte Banks did win Player of the Week with the pick 6 he had against Kyler Murray. That was a phenomenal 99-yard interception return. But it is time to jump in and take on the number 2 offense and the number 10 defense in the Dallas Cowboys with Max Duggan. And we did win the toss, and I did not want the ball first in this one. So the Cowboys are going to start it with Tony Pollard up the middle and James Williams. I'm going to need a better day from him than we saw last week. But actually, one of the viewers did point it out to me that in the latest patch update, which just came out today, that there were some issues with the fatigue, and it switched it all around. Some of that could be blamed for the issues, but it is a 3rd and 7, and they're going to the air. We've got pressure on already, and Kayvon Thibodeau was able to get there, forced Dak Prescott to throw it away. So we played very well against the Cowboys the first time we played them. I think it was the only game this season where we haven't let up a touchdown. The score was 16-3, if I'm not mistaken. So if we can continue that success today, that would be absolutely awesome. But this is something I've been looking forward to all year. So Travis Hunter punt return. And we haven't been able to get one so far. But Dane Belton couldn't hold his block, and that one only goes down at the 41. Could have had more space, but Max Duggan comes back out. Threw for 4 touchdowns last week, and I'm really excited to see how he continues to ball out for us. A 4 touchdown performance is nuts from a guy who hasn't played in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. But then again, our entire team is pretty beat up at this point, as Pierre Strong's going to start us off on the ground. And yeah, he had 178 yards last week, but we need to be able to continue that success here into this game. Obviously, the upgrade point didn't help, but we still need to find ways to get him involved. I really think today is going to be Jalen. Oh, that was such a bad pass. We were under pressure, but we had Jalen Hyatt there. But our big main focus today is actually going to, you don't want to put Drake Maye up there. That's awesome. But the one big thing I want to focus on today is getting our tight ends involved. Yes, Luke Musgrave is out, but Daniel Bellinger, Albert O, and Brevin Jordan are one of the best tight end cores in football right now. We spent a lot of time building it up. I want to get these guys involved, and That one's dropped. Then we're going to punt it away. Staying in this 4-3 to start the game. They're going to go back to the run with Tony Pollard. And I did check. Dexter Lawrence leads the NFL in TFLs with over 23 this season. But if he can continue that success, that would be awesome when we were coming up here to cause another early third down for the Cowboys. And it may be risky, but we are bringing the blitz as they go to play action here. Nick Amrawari right up the middle. We called pass. And when you call pass or guess pass, your guy's not going to play the play action. He's going to go straight for the quarterback there. All worked out, and that's going to leave Travis Hunter to give us an opportunity to get into great field position here. And if I break this one out, oh my goodness, I thought Stingley was going to pin up on the other guy. We reversed field there. Could have really worked. I was staring down that side. We're going to start this drive here on the ground again. Break it out. Wow. Okay. Nelson got absolutely bullied there, and Pierre Strong, not the same start that we had last week. And when you look at total yards there on the top, it's -1-1. A great start across the board for both offenses. As I'm going to try to throw it out. And to Daniel Bellinger, we're not going to get it there. I waited a little too long. So could this be the 4-3 and out to start this football game here? Let's see if we can go to him. Travis Hunter making the great opportunity to get the grab, but he dropped it. You couldn't have asked for a ball to get placed any better than that. It just didn't get reeled in by the first round draft pick. And the only thing we're doing in this game is winning the field position battle. But that's about it here as that backspin goes crazy amounts backwards. Quay Walker, I'm glad to have him back, but he downs it. We are finally coming out in the nickel, and it is a run here, but we do bottle up with Travis Hunter. He dropped the pass, comes out, makes a good TFL though, so I'll take that. And with them going 5 wide, I'm actually going to bring a heavy blitz here. We should have another free rusher across the board. They do go underneath to CeeDee Lamb, who is so unbelievably fast, but it is 3rd and 3, and I did try earlier this season to match up by speed, and it just didn't work. Maybe we go away from it here, but CeeDee Lamb, with wide receiver catching at an 80 slider, just drops it. Such a bad drop coming out from them. 5 3-and-outs in a row to start this football game, but the Cowboys are slowly and surely flipping this field if we get another 3-and-out here. Good juke move 1 to break a tackle, but we didn't end up getting at the 34-yard line. So back comes out. 3rd time on offense. Let's see if we can make it work. I'm going to change it up here. We are going to go to the air. That's going to be our big difference here. Out to Travis Hunter, and he's actually able to hold on to it. So the second game in a row, it's taken us a while to get our team going here, but I'm going to try to throw us across, and we had complete out of reach. That pass was out of reach? Well, that's bad because we need to be able to throw the ball deep here as we're going to go out to Odell Beckham Jr. and that ball just gets thrown wide. Another inaccurate pass. And so that's not the start you want in this ball game at all as Tony Pollard's going to try to get to the edge and he does break 1 tackle there. Sexy Dexy chasing him all the way down backside, but I think that may be the first down of this football game. But they are going to keep it on the ground. Again, another stretch play to the outside. This time we're able to make the tackle. And that break tackle bonus really hasn't come into effect much yet as they're going to go underneath to CeeDee Lamb. I thought they were going the other way. I read it, but Quay Walker, luckily enough, makes the tackle. But the Cowboys are right around midfield for the first time in this football game. My guess here is they're going to go back to the run, stretch play to the outside. We're chasing with Okereke. We weren't able to get it working. If somebody could punch out this football, that'd be awesome, but they do get the first. They're still maybe 3 yards out of field goal range. That's about it, but they are going to dump this one off here to Gallup. And looking at the stats so far, we have 4 passing yards and -1 rushing yards. The complete opposite of what we experienced last week against the Arizona Cardinals. But on the 2nd and 6, we are going to the play action. Already cover 3, but Stingley gets the interception on Dak Prescott. And Stingley's going to be able to stop the drive in its tracks here. They ran a slot fade. And with the cover 3, you kind of drop right into it. Stingley was able to come up and underneath of the receiver and make the interception. That's his 6th or 5th on the year. But I think that was actually just a pretty good play call against what they were trying to do there. If you were in man-to-man coverage, or at least you thought you were in man-to-man coverage, and the corner went off like that, that would be your perfect read to go to. But we were able to make it work. And I don't think we're first in league in takeovers yet, or takeaways yet, but I'd like to get there soon here as Pierre Strong's out to the open field, juking people out. And it may have taken a quarter, but it looks like the offense has finally come alive here, but that's what's going to happen here. Andrew Thomas against Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is going to win a couple of those every game. So if their incredible D-line gets you, you go against them here and you go for a read option, but you got stuck up. You got stuck up. You love to see it. So this is a 3rd and 24 now. And it's crazy how much a sack can just absolutely end a drive here. I'm going to try deep here to Keon Coleman as he's not able to get up and over the top and win the jump ball. So we start this game 1 for 8 passing the football. I may need to look to do some things different, go back to the read option as well as the play action, really just start dumping off into the flat. But Presley Harvin really getting a workout today. Not the best punts in the world, I'll be honest with you, across the board. I may look to replace him after this season. Luckily enough, our defense is still just holding strong here. They go out. Travis Hunter is going to make a very, very, very nice tackle. It does get shoved off, but does get the TFL for it. And with the 12 personnel look, they are going to go to the air, out to the flats again. And James Williams, good tackle, 3rd and 9. I think this is a situation where I bring a man blitz again. And that's going to be bringing Travis Hunter, something we usually don't do here. But when nothing gets there, nothing's going to get there. As Michael Gallup just makes a good grab and gets something working. Dak Prescott had all day to sit in that pocket there. It was simple as that. We couldn't get anything going up the middle. I mean, Travis Hunter was blocked. That means there should have been a free rusher. Oh, it was Tony Pollard stayed in. I thought he went out. I mislooked at that, but Tony Pollard went out, and he was able to pick up James Williams there, so no worries. I digress. They're going to continue to try to drive down the field. Now, Travis Hunter doing a good job of tackling. We're going to try another 6-man pressure here. Actually, make it 7 with the guys we're bringing in. Deontay Banks almost had that interception, went for the jump. I didn't even click on, I'll be honest. And he let it go right past him. Now, almost inside the red zone here, almost guaranteeing points as we run and bump Michael Gallup off his route. Perfect coverage from James Williams. Can't get any better than that. And in this game, I want to bring in a lot more zone blitzes and zone looks as they're going to go to the corner of the end zone here, and it is dropped. Luckily enough, our footsteps were there just in time to knock it out, and Audrey's going to come in to kick this field goal. So the former pro soccer player Aubrey's going to nail this one through, and the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So after the fair catch from Darrington Evans, something I don't usually do, we're going to go to the air, and I'm looking around to see anybody open, and I'm going to try to just throw it. Bellinger on the sideline, he's able to reel it in. There's a flag. What could the flag be unless it's illegal touching coming out from D-Bell? And it is a personal foul, and that's going to be on unnecessary roughness, and that's going to be on the opponent's 37. We're going to definitely accept that. And look at this one here. This was on Trayvon Diggs. After the play, we stepped out of bounds, and it looks like he went for just a bigger tackle. The replay doesn't go that way, but that's what seemed to happen there. And I'm going to run a stretch play to the weak side here, and if we can reach and get it work, or just go into a foot race. Complete foot race, and we just beat him to the edge there, so not a bad play call. Something I like to do, run stretch plays to the weak side and just say, hey, 1v1, you, me versus the linebacker. And being able to punch in a score here would be huge, especially with the way our quarterback is playing right now. That one getting into Keon Coleman, who's been on an absolute tear the past couple of weeks. And maybe the adage is true, man. It's just, I don't know what it is, but when you have a different quarterback, it's easier to throw to different receivers, but Pierre Strong continuing maybe a little bit of the success he had last week with a touchdown run here as we jump out to the lead against the Dallas Cowboys. 7-3 is your score. A lot different than it was last week. I think it was 24-24 going into halftime. So a lot different here today, but hey, it's going to be a absolute dogfight here in the NFC East matchup. And so with almost 3 minutes left on the clock here, the goal is just to hold the Cowboys out of any sort of points. The clock's going to run quickly. We're going to reach the 2-minute warning, but they're going to go to the air very quickly here soon. My guess is going to come here. Yes, it is on the pass. As they go to another slot fade here, but we're going to knock it out again. Stingley playing really good. We're running a lot of zone coverage today, and it's actually working. This is where it gets interesting because they can run the ball in that situation, but they just don't. Instead, they go to the sideline, and it's Rice who's not able to bring it in. And I really expected that pass to be caught. So all of a sudden, we're going to get the ball back here. And after the Kroger punt, let's see something here from Travis Hunter. That'd be awesome. We're going to get the ball around the 38-yard line to start. So maybe we try to push it down to grab 3 more. And if it is man-to-man, Keon Coleman's on a linebacker here. And he kind of is. No, it's actually a zone, but we still get a little completion out of it. I'm going to go hurry up, though, right away. And I'm looking for almost an angle route here, but this is actually man-to-man. Keon Coleman should be wide open if we were able to fit it in. And the completion percentage is still absolutely terrible. Looking like a Baker Mayfield stat line. By that, I mean no hate to Baker Mayfield. That's just how he plays sometimes, and if it is man coverage here again, we should have some success. I'm going to try to throw it here. Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's got a lot of space in the crossing route. Travis Hunter, 94 speed. He's going to get into the end zone for us. What a good play. Max Duggan. The completion percentage isn't there. A lot of the passes aren't getting where we need them to get, but hey, you make the ones that count, and we have a 14-3 lead here against the Dallas Cowboys. Second time this year we've played the Dallas Cowboys and had a lot of success in the ball game, and especially with our defense playing well, forcing a lot of 3-and-outs. But yeah, the defensive back just got caught up there, and Travis Hunter was able to make them pay with the speed. I love the way he's played this season. I can't wait to see his cumulative stats from the offense and defensive side. For those of you guys who don't know, we are using 2 players. Yes, there is a glitch with it, and yes, I also thought about using modded Madden to make it happen, but Matt Parrott's going to go down with an injury. We don't have another tackle. Unless I move Josh... Oh my gosh, we don't have another tackle. And Matt Parrott dislocated his shoulder. So yeah, Joshua Izuditsu is the last guy on roster that's going to be able to come in and play line. Joshua Izuditsu is going to be out. That means him, Cody Ford, I think everybody besides Kenyon Green from the starting point standpoint, oh wait, as well as Andrew Thomas is healthy. John Mitchell-Smith's just been a dog in the middle for us, but it's going to be a very, very long end of season if we cannot keep our offensive line healthy. Out of the 11 guys we have on roster, I think we only have 6 right now. So I may have to move some guys to IR depending on how the injuries work, just so we can pick up somebody. But with not a lot of time left, the Cowboys are going to try to go on a drive here, and that crosser works, but the Cowboys are finally burning time out. And we are running a lot of man-to-man coverage here, so let's see if we can get it to work. That's pretty good coverage by Banks, I'm not going to lie. He was well over top of it, ready for it. But the Cowboys coming out here in doubles to both sides, a bench concept, and we're running with it. Xavier McKinney with such a good breakup. I saw it all the way. The corner route was there. And in a cover 2, that's a hard play to get over up on top of. So somehow we were able to make that work. We're going to go out here with a running back, Tony Pollard versus Amrawari, and somehow we just couldn't get the tackle. So that just wasn't letting me click on, but here we go. Here, another corner route coming out. Dane Belton. Wow, I tried to go for the swat. He just went and dove for it. Brendan Rice is going to get in for the touchdown here on the 2-minute warning. So 14-10 is going to be the score going into halftime. No worries, we still got the lead, but this Dallas Cowboys roster is scary when they are firing on all cylinders like that. Made that drive look easy on us, to be honest. And I think nonetheless, he was going to get into the end zone. And Rice, who's torched us now for couple games over the course of Giants franchise, comes in and does it again on us. And looking at the halftime stats so far, we're running the ball pretty decently. It's just the passing numbers. I want to get the completion numbers up going into this next half. And so coming out of half, you know, I'd love more than anything right now is a Darrington Evans kick return. And that's definitely not going to happen. The coverage was all over us there. Andrew Thomas is in on kickoff return. That's how hurt our team is right now, especially on the skill position guys. But we are going to start off this half with a read option. That's going to be a give read here. And I see the hole a little bit, and we're able to squeak in for 7. And after a Pierre Strong run to start us out here, we're going to go to the air, and I see him absolutely crossing. OBJ is so unbelievably wide open. The good juke move coming out. And that's going to be a huge play to start this second half for us. But the crazy catch that won the game for us against the Arizona Cardinals with no time left on the clock. We're able to go back to the big fella here. And the Giants legend continues his hot streak for us in this ending part of the season. And one player we haven't gone to a lot, actually, is Jalen Hyatt. But we are going to go to him here in a little sit round. He's able to hold on to it. He's been our #1 receiver, but he just hasn't had a lot of success for us here. As I'm just going to try to go up to him. Why not? And he does bring it in. There's no way. Oh, they got knocked out based on the tabletop from Deron Bland. Oh, that could have been such a good play. But now we're just hoping the double team from Nelson and John Mitchell-Schmidt can move Mozzie Smith out of the way, and we absolutely cannot. He got off the double team way too early, and it's 4th and inches. And we're going to show our might here. We are going to go for this on 4th down, and it's Micah Parsons saying absolutely no to that. Coach suggestions, thought maybe the field goal was necessary. I wanted to make a statement here in this second half. Read option, and just nothing. Nobody decided to touch Micah Parsons. He came in free. He wasn't even the read man there. OBJ was giving chase to him, so I guess OBJ was supposed to block him. But what a momentum killer here to start this game as Dane Belton comes in. We're not able to finish the tackle, but it did finish off for only a 2-yard gain, so I'll take it. But they're going some really wide bunch looks here, and they are going to go quick to the outside, and Stingley almost had another interception right into his hands, and he dropped it. So this is bring up 3rd and 8. And if you watch Giants franchise, you know this is where we're bringing the pressure here. You're already pretty much later into this video as they do go across here, and it's Nick Amrawari letting up the completion. Honestly, we just didn't get that pressure quick enough here, but I am running out to try to force this ball back in. But Harris, I love the speed from the linebacker, and I really don't know what we're going to do with him. Nick Amrawari, and he's coming down to play sub linebacker along with James Williams, and they've both been pretty good. And with McFadden, Okereke, as well as some of the other guys on our roster, I don't know how much I'm going to keep Christian Harris around, but it will be an interesting decision. He could be a good trade piece for us, though, as they do go underneath to Rice and make it a 3rd and 4. And we are going cover 2 on this 3rd and 4, and they're going to go quick to the outside, and we didn't have anybody out there. Stingley should have been out there in zone coverage, but they got a 1st and goal. So it's looking like a score could be imminent here if the coverage does not get there. And we do have some guys in chase, and I see it. User interception all the way across. Dane Belton, we're there in coverage, and this could be the 2nd week in a row we're going to get a 99-yard or more pick 6 return. I read it like a book all the way across. They were trying to force the ball there to CeeDee Lamb. I think it was Dexter Lawrence who was rushing the quarterback. And I need to go back and see exactly what happened on this play. I was so focused on double teaming CeeDee Lamb. I was like, hey, they're going to get to anybody. It's going to be CeeDee Lamb, especially crossing across the back of the end zone there. And we're able to jump up and pick it off. Travis Hunter was still pretty good in coverage, though, anyways. And what an absolutely heroic play from the new captain of the Giants roster. I need to make him captain for how well he's played for us. He's a tackle leader. He's a turnover leader. Across the board, he's an absolute stud for us, and we're going to take this field goal here to end the 3rd quarter. Why couldn't we do this last week when we were playing one of the worst teams in football, but we're playing pretty well today? Is Dane Belton again with the cleanup there on Tony Pollard, but they are going 5 wide, which means they're going to go to the air here. We're going to go out on CeeDee Lamb. I tried to bait the quarterback a little bit for maybe another interception, but that one didn't quite work. But last time we played the Cowboys, they were one of the best offenses in the league. I think ranked 3rd at the time when we went into that game. And today coming in, they are #2. So across the board, we're just having so much success against this top-rated offense. And this could really impact us based on the standings here because the end of the season is coming. But a win today means that we're only one game out of first place in the NFC East. It's only 2 games from falling out of the playoffs. That's how tight this race is right now. Is Dane Belton not going to get the break up there? The tight end beat him on that corner route. Another bench concept coming out from the Cowboys. And I'm sorry, I am guessing run up the middle. We're going to try to get there, and we do. Nick Amawari went for the little punch. I saw that. We weren't able to get it, though. But let's see if we can do it one more time here. That hole's open up the middle. Nick Amawari's able to meet him. And they're stacking it. They're going to give the ball right up the middle one more time. Isaiah Simmons makes the absolute great play of the day here, forcing a 4th and goal. And if the Cowboys go for it, that's a huge risk on their part. They didn't want to go to the air at all on that one. Just ran every single time. We were able to run commit to it and getting some pretty good looks. And just because it sketches me out a little bit, we are going to go field goal safe, man. Let the former professional soccer player kick this field goal. It is a 13-21 ball game. So we still have the lead by 8 points here. Some first downs, really churn out the clock in this drive. Next drive is going to be the goal. But running out the clock is going to be a tall tale here, especially against this Cowboys defensive line as Mozzie Smith in the middle. But Trayvon Diggs gets injured. First injury really seems like today. We haven't lost a lot of guys besides Matt Parrott. But I am going to mix it up here a little bit. But it is still going to be a handoff here. Pierre Strong's not able to get much out of it. But we are averaging 5 yards per carry here. And if Odell can make this catch, and he does, that is a huge play for us. So the drive goes on here. Travis Hunter out into the flats. And Travis Hunter's got a lot of speed here. Nice little juke move's going to get him up to open space. Crosses the midfield point. 9 of 18. That's what we've gotten today. So not a lot of work out of the quarterback, but hey, not a bad thing. He's a backup. We're not going to stress him out too much. Travis Hunter up to 82 yards of receiving on the day. That's his second best day so far. He did have 94 a couple of weeks ago. That is awesome coming out from him. Now I just need Brevin Jordan to keep and hold on his block out there, and he does for enough to give us 3. And I want to see if a deep shot is going to come available for us here. As we're just going to throw this one underneath, and it's intercepted. I tried to force it so hard with pressure in our face. I should have just thrown it away. A horrible interception coming out from me. I thought we could zip it in there. The arm strength's not quite what Drake Maye's is. I don't even know if that was perfect accuracy at all. We got hit really, really hard there from the linebacker, Williams. And that one's just an absolute killer in this ball game. I wanted to take more time off the clock, at least extend our lead to maybe 11 if we could. So now a little under 5 minutes left in the ball game. Dexy was such a good play. And we're holding the Cowboys right now to only 44 yards on the ground from Tony Pollard on 16 carries, which is pretty impressive. But we are pressing across the board here. And pressure's coming, and Travis Hunter, you have a drop problem on both sides of the field. It's ridiculous. You could have had a pick and 90 yards receiving in this game, but he doesn't quite get there. And that one just hurt, but it is a 3rd and 5, and they are going to go to the air, and Dane Belton gets absolutely toasted off the line. That one is such a killer. We could have had the Cowboys dead to rights in this one. Doesn't quite work. Doesn't quite go our way. And now they're past the midfield stripe, and they're going to see a stretch play to the outside, and all the blocks are going to be able to get picked up. Luckily enough, Kayvon Thibodeau made a really good play, holding him up for just a second. And this clock's just going to continue to churn here. Is up the middle. Dexy, another good tackle. I'll take that because I could have broken for a lot more. And he's quietly been the single best player in Madden franchise for the New York Giants as James Williams. I have to show you this. I just saw it. If you didn't see it, I'm going to show you this one more time. So James Williams coming off the ball, man-on-man against CeeDee Lamb. You'll love the effort, don't you? You'll absolutely love the effort. Nobody else on our team is having a problem except for this guy week in and week out, and he will not be seeing the field for us for the rest of this game. I do not care. But they are going to go for 2 here to tie it, and Dexy's going to be right there to nail him down. That's such a big play from the interior defensive lineman. He's been the MVP. Like I was saying, best player in Giants franchise. But it's now a 2-score ball game, and we need to control this clock for as long as we can here. And we're not going to just do it on the ground. We're going to do it through a lot of RPOs in this football game here. And it's going to be Max Duggan taking the first one here, just sliding down. And if this is how we got to beat the Cowboys, I'll take it all day long. Max Duggan's got a lot of space again. We're going to turn up the field here and just take it down. Don't fumble the football, please. But the 2-minute warning is here. And a couple more plays should do it. If we can just get to the linebacker here. A little cutback lane. Juke move's not going to quite work, but the timeouts come out. And if I were the Cowboys, you almost have to bite down on this one. And that's going to leave Max Duggan free again to run. We're a little bit abusing the system, but I love it. Let's see about this read option here. They're actually going to make it a give read. And then Pierre Strong's got a lot of space, making it a 2nd and 1. Our life just became so much easier. So we're going to go I formation here, and we're going to have ISO on that middle linebacker there. As long as Brevin Jordan can pick him up, we're golden. That's a first down, baby, and that is going to be the ball game. We're going to run this clock down, take it to the end of the game. Somehow we walked away with a win against the Cowboys. The 2-point attempt from the Cowboys didn't go their way. Max Duggan, 3-0 when he's had to come in. And I absolutely love it from him. And so we walked away with the win, 21-19. We're now 1 game out of first in the NFC East, as well as That puts us a little bit more of safe distance away from getting eliminated and falling out of the wild card. And looking at the stats, Max Duggan, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The interception was pretty rough, but hey, the completion percentage worked out. And Pierre Strong, another strong day from him on the ground, 4.9 yards per rushing. Duggan was able to get it done there on that final drive. And at receiving, Travis Hunter having an absolute day. Jalen Hyatt slowly disappearing when it comes to reps for us this season. But when you only complete 9 passes all day long, you're not going to get a lot of receiving yards. And defensively, this is the guy who saved the game for us. Dexter Lawrence on the 2-point conversion, able to make this stop. But then the interceptions from Dane Belton and Derek Singlery, huge. Dane Belton's going all the way to the house. 102 yards is what it officially came out as. The nice thing is the trench boost after the game is going to give us some extra XP. I think just for the rushing yards and finishing with around 100 rushing yards. Let's see how much XP we get. And we walk away with 2,500, not too bad. And then knocking off a hot opponent, I think we're able to get things rolling, and we will have +10 break tackle, play rec, and tackling for the next game. And on top of that, we did get 2,500 XP as well, so our entire team got 5,000 XP across the board. Wait, I think our lineman only got extra 2,500. That's going to lead us in to play the Commanders, another game that haunted us a little bit earlier in this season. And so going in 2 games left in this season, you see we're 1 game behind the Cowboys now after the win, and the Commanders have actually dropped to 3 straight here. But before we jump into the game, we do have some upgrade points, and there is a lot to go through here. So starting out, Andrew Thomas, I want to put him on agile, and that's going to bring him up just a little bit here. Let's take a look. Pass blocking finesse is good, and I like the strength. And then Kayvon Thibodeau, who's playing all the way up to a 90 overall. I'm going to go ahead and put it on speed rusher, and that's going to bring him up 1 overall point, but we did lose 1 of the bonus increases, and the +2 awareness, I guess I'll take it. And then Deonte Banks, I have to work on his man-to-man. That's going to be a big thing for his development in the future. I want to be a lockdown. And the +3 awareness is going to skyrocket his overall. That's going to bring us to Drake Maye, who will be back for us next week. So that's a huge thing for us, up to an 83 overall. He is still that superstar dev, and he's got almost nothing from that upgrade point, and that just really sucks. And then for Travis Hunter, I'm going to put it on deep threat. I want to play him more on the outside moving forward. At the height, maybe we could make it happen. And the deep route and the release is huge. And then the big man in the middle, who's honestly been pretty freaking good for us, John Mitchell-Schmitz. The only problem is the pressures up the middle and passing plays, and that's nothing from him. So upgrades haven't been going well too far. Nick Amrawari, I'm going to put him in run support. Nickel linebacker look, playing up to an 84 overall, which is insane. I'm surprised we haven't got a breakout from him. But then this guy right here, his counterpart, who I've been just struggling with this season, especially in the back half. He's not going to be playing as much today, but that's going to bring up Evan Neal, and that's going to go in pass protector as well, moving him to guard, but he is playing a little tackle. He's going in between, but I do want to give one here to our starting quarterback, and I'm going to put it all the way down on improviser. I know that's not usually where you put it on the quarterback here, but the break sack, throw on the run. The throw on the run is what I wanted to try to get. But back to the guys protecting him. Jack Nelson, another one on pass protector. He's still developing. We did draft him as a tackle and moved him inside, but I think at 6'7", maybe I think about moving him outside for next season again. But now down Tavion Wicks, I love the way he's been playing for us, up to a 75, which is huge. And across the board, a lot of good upgrades. And if we don't bring back Darrington Evans, he could be a really good kick returner for us, him and Travis Hunter. But I really love all the XP that we've gotten so far. Dante Corleone, I want to make him a power rusher through and through. The draft pick hasn't really worked out for us so far from him, as this upgrade point is horrible. But last but not least, Presley Harvin, I'm going to put it on power, and he's going to be up to a 78 playing for us. But now taking a look at the playoff picture one more time, still the Eagles sitting all the way at the 7th spot, and we have a 2-game lead on them, and so it is confirmed that we did clinch a playoff spot, but we still need to go all out on this one because there's still a chance we could snag the #1 spot from the Cowboys. But we did already lose to the Washington Commanders once on this season, actually to open up this season. It's only been up since then, and you look at the bottom, James Williams and Nick Amrawari are both really struggling with their player health. Looking at it here again, but on the offensive side with Duggan, I just want to keep throwing it short, still using his abilities just to scramble out, make plays when we need to, and I'm going half pads across the board again. It's nice to see that James Williams got the -5 fatigue, but with no injuries in practice once again. That's because we haven't gone full pads since I think week 7. It's gonna be time to jump into this game. And so it is a rainy day across the board. Jahan Dotson's gonna start it off with a knee, and we're gonna come out on defense first. I decided with the -5 fatigue that we're going to move James Williams actually still into that nickel look, but I will be quick to take him out if we see any more issues with him going forward. But out comes out Caleb Williams, 19 touchdowns, 11 picks. Not the best season from him, but he's also struggled with injury just like Drake Maye this year. And seeing the Commanders playbook, we're going to run a lot of 4-3 looks today. The only time I really see us getting out of it is when they go to any 4 wide receiver or 4 or 5 wide receiver sets. But I just saw James Williams struggle there, and that's where we're eventually just going to say, say, hey, we got to give up on him for right now. Let him rest, not play him the whole game. But Brian Robinson starts off with a good run. And so the nickel's going to be a key look that we won't be able to go to much this game at all. But that is going to see Isaiah Simmons come down and play that edge spot a little bit for us as a good tackle comes in from Malcolm Rodriguez. Shout out Malcolm Rodriguez for his interception in the NFC Championship game for the Lions. But he's a Giants franchise legend. But we are on third down. And on this 3rd and 12, we're just going to bring a 5-man pressure across the board, kind of lurk here. And the sack does come out from Kayvon Thibodeaux, who's actually had such a down year for us. I looked at the stats before the game. His pressures off the edge is just not there. And I think maybe because we used the blitz a little bit more, played a little bit of the positionless football. But it's going to be Travis Hunter here back to return. And Travis Hunter is going to be blocking for him as well. Travis Hunter picks up a block for Travis Hunter. And for the first time this year, we've Travis Hunter in open field. A punt return, something that has not happened for us this year or any year of Giants franchise. We finally get one in this game. If you don't know, I play Travis Hunter with 2 different characters, both on offense, both on defense. There's a glitch that allows you to do it, but it makes the depth charts really, really tricky to work with and edit throughout the season. But I edit the depth charts every single week for you guys, so we're always filling in, doing something new. But Travis Hunter here, the wide receiver version, is able to get the punt return. I absolutely love that. I have had it set where they never should be able to share the field together, but I digress. It doesn't matter. Could have been Cordero Flott there blocking for him, but we do get on the board first in this ballgame. Our offense hasn't seen the field yet, but we do have the points on the board here. DeAndre Hopkins, though, with a good catch on Stingley. And this whole idea of defense today is going to be so predicated on moving players around. Nick Amrawari's battling tiredness along with James Williams. I just saw in the formations tab. So what we're doing, if you see here, I'm using the right stick. We're going to be cycling through a bunch of different looks, bunch of different packages per defensive sets. But on this 3rd and 5, we are just sitting a nice little zone coverage here, and they are going to test us deep. And Deonte Banks got burned. If that pass was accurate, that would have fell in for a huge Commanders touchdown. Luckily enough, even with the sliders set all the way to, I think, 85 QB accuracy, they're not able to fit it in. We're going to get this ball back. And that is a bad punt coming out from Dixon here. It's going to be Travis Hunter returning, and I tried to turn backwards, run away from it. We're down to the 20, no worries. And on that punt, Travis Hunter actually went down with an injury. And so starting out the drive, we had an intentional grounding, and on top of that, Travis Hunter dislocated his hip. So Travis Hunter will be moved out of the lineup for both sides of the football moving forward. And so we lose a decent wide receiver, but probably an even more valuable corner here is Odell Beckham Jr. if we could fit this one in for the first down, and we do. So that is a huge loss on both sides of the football here, but Pierre Strong is going to continue that hot streak he's been on. Granted, he only ran for 75 yards last week, but the week before that, with his rushing abilities, getting him all the way up to almost 180, and he does a little bit more here, getting it 2 for 20 to start the day. But our goal is to get that completion percentage up for Duggan here today, as that one's almost intercepted as we go out to the stop route. So correction, I love running the football. It's been the best thing of all time here as Andrew Thomas. If we could just pick up that block, oh, why are we diving like that? Nonetheless, we get the first, but I'm trying to slide here, but we are really just starting out hot in this one as we're going to throw to Brodell as that one's broken up. He gets sandwiched between 2 receivers, but getting up 14 early would be huge in this ball game here as it's going to be a 3rd and 7 though. We're going to have to go back to the air. I'm going to look for Bellinger here out in the flats. I don't see anything, but I do see the crosser coming out. We're able to hit Keon Coleman, who's been on his own little hot streak as he's able to get it up down to the 17. Such a last second throw coming out there. That was absolutely awesome, but this hole opens up very, very wide for Strong. And we did bring in Ezekiel Elliott, but right now I've really seen no need to really go to him here as we're going to run this with Duggan, and Duggan's going to scramble his way into the end zone. So we end the first quarter on a high note here. 14-0 is the score, and I just love his scrambling ability. Something we really didn't do a lot with Drake Maye. I really did that because of his arm strength. Yeah, he does have like 88 speed or something like that, but with Duggan, I really can't rely on the accuracy all the time. You've seen it, a lot of missed throws, so if I can get it done with him on the ground, I will. And the TCU product has helped us to a couple wins now on the season and kept us in this #1 seed race, which I didn't think was possible. If we can get another 3 and out on this drive, that'd be absolutely huge. And they're going to start it with a nice little throw to the outside. And I would really love to see Max Duggan just completely out-duel Caleb Williams. The jokes behind that would be hilarious as Rob Hovenstein goes down. And we already have them into a 3rd down quick, but the tight end's going to be able to haul that one in. But I do really, really like this 5-2 look as Kayvon comes in absolutely free for his 2nd sack on the day. Maybe I was calling our defense wrong all year long, allowing Kayvon to really take the tackles one-on-one this season because it's something I really didn't do. And he was really getting double teamed all season long and really not given a good opportunity to make things happen as that one's going to go to the outside, and Bobby Okereke doesn't quite get the interception, but I think that's going to be a roughing the passer, and it is. And if that's on Kayvon after I was hyping him up, I'm going to be so mad. And it was on Bryce Huff, the former Jet, now Giant with us, and that's going to give Commanders a second life here on this drive as up the middle the run goes, but Brian Robinson bounces, but that's just absolutely killer. And at the linebacker spot as well, as they do find a window actually, as that was Hopkins who got the reception. DeAndre Hopkins, good grab, but I was going to say we're going to rotate the linebackers a little bit more too to try to keep him fresh, and that's going to mean Corey Foreman's also going to get some playing time today, but I love this. We are with Christian Harris, the fast user linebacker, able to get out there on the run, and Xavier McKinney is hurt. We set the injury sliders, just like I said last episode, we set the injury sliders all the way back down to regular, and we're still getting injuries to our team. So this game is just going to be all Dane Belton. If we could just make the plays with him like we almost did right there. And so coming into the other safety spot a little bit is going to be Cordero Flott of all people here. And they're going to go deep, and that's going to be knocked out. But Cordero Flott's going to have to finish this game at safety for us. Somebody who hasn't got a lot of playing time all season long. Made some good plays on special teams, though. I'll be first guy to say that. But Xavier McKinney, he's going to be out with a bruised sternum. The Commanders are going to settle for a field goal. That one's going to be absolutely drilled coming out here. And we're going to push this here to get the ball back. We still have a lot of time left in the second quarter, so let's try to make a score. And after Darrington Evans was able to get us all the way out here on a good return, we're going to try to go on a drive. And I love what we've been doing with Max Duggan here. A little bit of that RPO, read, pitch, and pull, whatever we want here with him. He's got 44 rushing yards so far. And when we're not doing that, we can go to the air a little bit here, and I'm looking for Daniel Bellinger. If we can get this to him, that'd be nice, but yeah, that's the problem with him. So we're going to go back to that RPO play again. This time, Zeke Elliott's going to get the ball, and that's going to be his first carry since that negative 4-yard rush he took. So backed up to a 3rd and long, something I don't like doing. We're going to go to a screen play here to the outside. If we can just get the blocks, that'd be very, very nice, and that one's going to leave us short here, so we're going to take the field goal instead. I don't want to risk it, and so in the pouring rain, a 52-yarder, Jake Elliott, we have to be able to put this one in. I put the mark just a little bit below, but that's a barely able to squeak in. So we got 17 to the Commanders, 3. The sliders for kicking make it so much harder. That one barely went through. So with a lot of guys who don't usually get time, we got to make plays, but the one man who has always been there, Sexy Dex, he's going to force an early 3rd down on this drive. They tried to go to the ground twice, didn't quite work. Nonetheless, here we're going to run across with these drags, and it's not going to work. We're actually going to step up and give chase to Caleb Williams, and he's going to throw it away. Was that Scary Terry screaming up the field there? Luckily enough, Caleb Williams didn't see him. We get the ball back here. We're still with 2 minutes, so maybe we get something working. So with 1:54 on the clock, let's see what we can do here. I'm going to look for the running back coming out. I do see him right away. Pierre Strong's got a lot of room to work with in the spin move. He's just horrible with it. And for the first time ever, we actually got a good completion percentage with Duggan here. Zeke's got a good run, and Zeke's going to pick us up a 1st down. I'm going to burn an early timeout because I want to keep our guys from not getting tired at all and sub some people out. So already pushing the ball across midfield. Now let's see what we can do. I see the drag route underneath. We're just going to take it with Brevin Jordan, get out. But I do want to take a shot here. Keon Coleman on a slot fade. He does get stuck up a little bit. Keon Coleman can go up, but he can't. So we are going to use Zeke to try to pick up this 1st down here. And running up the middle, a strong run. We're not able to get it. Timeout's burned. CPU wants us to go for it, but I want the points no matter what here. And so with Zeke, and so with Jake Elliott, we are going to be able to nail this one through, make it a 20-3 game. Hopefully that's all she wrote for the rest of this half, unless we're able to force a turnover. So the Commanders are going for a score here. They're going hurry up right away on this drive. We got to make some good plays. I'm running run with this crosser. They're going to throw it right over our heads. And that was actually Travis Hunter on the field, so I have to make sure he never comes back on for us in this game. But I am really afraid here in running man-to-man coverage. It's something I don't see working for us, but DeAndre Hopkins with another good grab, and they're driving. And with everything going on in our defense, we're asking the linebackers now to do an absolute lot. Do a lot more man coverage than they're used to. But the clock is running now. There's only 6 seconds left, and this may be the only play they get before half, and they're just going to burn a timeout. I don't know why they didn't go hurry up. And so right before half, they are going to be able to nail a field goal here. So 6-20, not bad. I did not want to give up another point, but we still have hold them absolutely touchdownless in this ball game. So far, with all the problems going on, it's just worked out a little bit here. We're going to have a chance at 1 kick return, but we're going to see it the next half. And looking at the halftime stats, rushing yards is a big win for us across the board. Pierre Strong continuing to really help us get to the playoffs here, maybe even grab the #1 seed. So coming back out here to start the second half, it's going to be a big turn of events for us if we can win this game. I tried to look at halftime. The Cowboys game has not started yet. You see it at the bottom of the screen there. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. But the Eagles are fighting for life as well, so hopefully they're going to be able to take them down and give us that #1 seed. So that will be definitely a game to check out here, as Duggan's going to maybe try to run for the 1st down, not able to get it. So the RPO that we went to a lot in this game, This time doesn't quite work for us. So Presley Harvin finally on the field to punt this one away for us. Deontay Banks, that's how low we are. Deontay Banks and Stingley are our two gunners right now. But the Commanders are basically out of life here on this season. Being now 7-8, they have to beat us and win the next game to even have a chance. But that percentage is still pretty low. So here we go back to the, oh, sexy Daxy, let's go, baby. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of falling in love with this look here, this 5-2 look as Hopkins drops that ball. But I am going to be moving some guys around. We are finally going to the nickel here, and Stingley's going to get burned in coverage this time for the first. And they are bringing a guy in motion here on this first down. They're going to go to the ground. We're trying to fill up, and Flott's going to be there along with Ed Oliver. And so here we go. Got to make a stop. They're going to go underneath, test James Williams, but that ball's dropped. Thank goodness, dude. Our secondary is burnt toast right now. And one more injury. I don't even know what formation we're going to be able to run as that goes right over the top of our head. Bobby Okereke gets burnt. We can't sit in the nickel. We run a 4-3. We get burnt like that from the slot. So my last hope here is actually Isaiah Simmons to get it to work. But we have not forced a turnover just yet in this ball game here as Caleb Williams is going to scramble out and Kayvon's got number 3. It took till this long, but Kayvon's finally coming alive for us, strapping the belt. You gotta love it. And so they are going to have to go to the air, and it is a screenplay here. We're going to give chase, but it hits off Kayvon's head. So once again, somehow our defense stands strong, and we are going to continue. Oh, no. I just saw at the top, James Williams got down with an injury. And so looking at it, Amrawari and James Williams at safety, but James Williams hurt, so I got to move Dane Belton up. And then at corner, Banks, Stingley, Flott. And at slot corner, Flott, Banks, Stingley. That's the only thing we can do in this ball game right now. And I'm also worried because if we have another injury, the game's going to make me put Travis Hunter back in the ball game. So I am very, very nervous in this one as we're going to throw underneath and Hyatt's not able to bring it in. So James Williams has a quadriceps strain. So if Keon Coleman wants to, maybe we'll move Keon Coleman out to the outside and we'll have him play safety for us as Zeke's got another good run. But also maybe we could move Brevin Jordan there. He's an athletic freak. Maybe he can get things to work as Alberto, the other tight end's got a decent grab. But we are going to think about maybe using some of the play clock early. And this one is Keon Coleman's going to have another great grab. That's his second one on the day. The juke move coming out got it to work. And yeah, our receiver production's been bad ever since Max Duggan came in. A little bit. I'll say that. It's been down a little bit. But Coleman's been the one guy who has really fought through that with us as I'm going to try to lead him here as he's going to make the grab. No, the linebacker came all the way back to make the play. So I've been hyping him up a lot this freaking episode, but we're not able to get it to work there. But Jalen Hyatt, and that's such a bad pass. So that does stick us all the way in a very third and long here as the comeback route maybe, but the corner almost broke before the receiver did. And that was something that happened all the way back in episode 1, if I'm not mistaken. But this time we were able to get it to, wait, Jalen Hyatt dropped it. And I was talking like it was a catch here, but Jalen Hyatt somehow didn't hold on to that. I saw it stuck into his body. And so we're going to have to hit a very, very long field goal with Jake Elliott. That one should be more than good here as it's going to squeak through and we're going to extend our lead 9-23. And so my worry is this is still a very, very close game, and this one is a good knockout coming out. But I know only 14 points separate the two teams here, so we have to make some good plays. But DeAndre Hopkins has really had our number all day long as another sack coming out, and Kayvon Thibodeau's now got 3.5. Malcolm Rodriguez stole 1/2 of that sack from him. But I still don't think Scary Terry has a single catch in this ball game yet at all. And that's really credit to Deontay Banks, the way he's been playing in this game at the outside. Superstar on superstar, and Deontay Banks has stepped up to the challenge. But Deontay Banks has really been one of the catalysts to our defense and its success, especially when he got to a superstar dev. But the fourth quarter is here, and I'm already putting on shoe clock. I want to make sure this game ends as quickly as possible. And with the way we're running the ball, I see no reason why we should have any more problems. And that's such a good block by Andrew Thomas. Holy crap. And I'm going to run right behind him again here, and he's able to see off the edge one more time. And Zeke Elliott, just stay in bounds, please. But splitting the carries has been a lot better working out for us today. So we're just going to go out to the running back again. Let him run. Have some fun with it. Pierre Strong's going to get another 5. We still don't even have above 100 passing yards in this game, but a couple more first downs should do it. I need Andrew Thomas to pick up another good block there, and he does. But that was really close to getting it to work there, and I'm going to scramble out with Duggan. Going to look downfield, and actually, it's a foot race. Can we get to the first down marker? And no, we get chased down. And that's the big fella, Timalau, the draft pick coming out for the Commanders, who was able to shut us down on this third. And we've let some teams come back on us this year. I do not want that happening right now. I need Cordero Flott to down this one in a perfect spot. We're going to run right underneath of it, and we don't down it. And it hits the guy. Oh, my goodness. It hits forward. For some reason, we don't have to tackle him, but it's down at 4-yard line, and I don't care. I'm bringing the house here. Stingler, we're hovering over. They're going to go fullback dive, actually, and somehow that almost works. So I was almost going to try to catch him slipping. That one didn't work, but they are going to do underneath to Brian Robinson. If we get a strip, maybe. But while this game's coming to a close, it's really helping me realize that the way we set up the time on this game has been actually pretty awesome for us. We have a focus on realism a little bit in this series, and the way the clock has been going is producing some pretty realistic stats. Because if you honestly look at it, outside of the kick return or punt return, we haven't really gotten much. But the Commanders on 3rd and 7 are going to go to the air again. We're man-on-man with the linebacker, and I see him throwing it up, and Stingley with the knockdown. I went for the swat. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a contested catch. Could we have picked that off? Absolutely. And we have to switch this over to cover 3 because I can't have Corey Foreman doing this right now, but they do go to the outside. Stingley need a knockdown, and Stingley does get it again. And so I would love to punch in a touchdown here. Can we get it to work? Pierre Strong to the outside on the first run. We're going to try to juke it back inside. Make sure we stay in bounds and let this clock burn. And already in a 1st and goal, let's see. I see the cutback lane there. We should almost be able to fight it in, but we only have 140 yards on offense today. As Duggan's going to try to fight this one, and he breaks the tackle. Max Duggan break the tackle, getting in for the rushing touchdown. And with only 141 now yards of offense today, we walk away with a pretty good game here. This is going to be all she wrote. We're going to end it here, and we're going to look forward now to the final weeks of the year and see, did the Cowboys lose? Are we tied? What's going on? We hold the tiebreaker, so all we need is an even record with them. And so we do walk away with a win. The Commanders get a last-second touchdown, but hey, it's absolutely okay. Brian Robinson was able to punch it in on a wheel route, but 16-30 is your final score. A lot of good plays across the board. We have a lot of issues, though, with our roster. The Commanders maybe even more because their win streak drops, or loss streak now drops to 4 games. But we won by only throwing for less than 100 yards. Instead, we really focus on the ground game. 6 yards per carry across the board for all of our guys. You'll love to see it. Receiving, Pierre Strong almost led us there as well. Jalen Hyatt, 2 drops in the day. Keon Coleman led us with 2 catches for 37 yards. But I cannot say enough. I am happy to have Drake Maye back next week. We are slinging the rock as we try to go for this #1 seed, but it's time to see. So it's time to see if the Philadelphia Eagles could pick up the win against Dallas. Looking at it, and we're tied. We have the 1st place spot in the division. The Eagles walked away with a win. And looking here at the playoff picture, we have the #1 seed. So we went from 0 to hero with the New York Giants having a rough season last year. I think we finished with 6 wins. Now all the way up to sitting at 12-4 on the season, especially with the troubles that we have had across the board with injuries and players going down. But shout out the Eagles for getting it done. And looking at weekly awards, Kayvon Thibodeau walked away with the weekly award for the NFC. And we do have some upgrade points. First, Dane Belton, very, very needed. I'm going to put it in zone because he's going to be playing back this week because I have to check out the injuries and we have to see what's going on. But Nick Amorari as well. I am going to actually put this one in zone. His run support, we've been really focusing on that, but I do want to put it back on zone every once in a while. And looking at stats here to end the season as we go into our last game, Drake Maye, 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. He did miss a lot of games for us. Luckily, he's back. Max Duggan, way to pick it up in relief. And then our running back, Barkley's finally back, and we can maybe get him 1,200 yards on this season. But receiving now, Keon Coleman's got that top spot for us. Jalen Hyatt still there. He's really struggled the past couple of weeks with Max Duggan. Wan'Dale Robinson out for the season. Saquon Barkley finally back. OBJ stepped it up for us. Musgrave and Bellinger, both those 2 tight ends have played very, very well. Travis Hunter, he's going to be out. We have to check on him. Then on defense, Kayvon's actually up to 9 sacks now. James Williams, 6.5. Nick Amorari's got 6. Bobby Okereke, 5.5. But what really surprises me is this tackle for loss. Dexter Lawrence up to 32. That is absolutely disgusting. And with interceptions, Deonte Banks at 6, Belton and Staley at 5. But the rookie Travis Hunter having 2 on the season is not bad in any stretch of the imagination. And so it's time to see who is going to be injured for us. Travis Hunter is going to be out for the remainder of the playoffs. So I'm going to stick him on the IR. Evan Neal and Luke Musgrave are still going to be out. Luckily enough, though, they will be back in time for the playoffs. So all the injuries that we've been stressing out about, looks like we're at the back end of it. We just won't have our 1st round pick for the playoffs. But I do have to do this here. Travis Hunter, we have to put him on the IR. So this week, week number 18, then wild card, divisional, championship, Pro Bowl, and then Super Bowl, that would make it 6 weeks. He's going to miss all that time, so placing him on the IR and making sure he's not going to play any corner for us either. And so going to free agency here, I have to pick up somebody to come in, play a little bit of corner, play a little bit of safety for us, but I'm going to look at the corner spots, and I don't really want an old guy. Maybe an old guy would be good to plug and play just with overalls. And Blue Kelly would be a really good guy to come in from Stanford. The only thing I don't like from him is his speed. So looking at guys who are on practice squads here, Rush looks good, Terrell Smith looks good, but he's 26. I could just call up Trey Hawkins, who was drafted by the Giants, and maybe promoting from within is going to make our lives a lot easier. So let's go ahead and do that. He is a 69 overall. That's rough, but I think he'll maybe even get some playing time. So I finally got everything set with the depth chart, so it's really here to focus on stopping Shedeur Sanders, the new quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. He's led him to a great record. That is unbelievable what he's been able to do. But we're still going to try to keep our team as healthy as possible through practice, not risk it. I'm so happy Drake Maye's coming back, and we are going to try to counter the blitz because it looks like they do blitz a lot here, 10th in the league in blitzes. And with some upgrades available after practice for us, we're first going to go with Corey Foreman here, and I'm going to put him on pass coverage. I want to keep developing him. He came in as an edge rusher. Maybe I move him down to play behind Kayvon Thibodeau next year. And then with Trey Hawkins picking him up off our practice squad here, we got to put him man-to-man, at least get something up to a 70, and he's up to a 70 overall. And plus 3-man coverage, I'll take it. And so it is time to jump into this game. Shedeur Sanders with the shutdown, one of the best quarterbacks, hottest quarterbacks in the NFL. To close out our season, we must win to keep the first seed here today. And looking at Jaden Reed to start off, I usually don't go to these scenes, but 1,300 yards from the receiver is actually insane. But on our side, it's so nice to have our entire core back together, outside of Travis Hunter, obviously. And I did not check, but I really need to know who Dallas is playing today. I think that's going to be a huge thing for us as Bo Melton takes a knee to start this one. And looking at Shedeur Sanders' stats, though, he's absolutely balling out. 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He wears the number 19, which is so ugly. Starting out here, they are going to go to the ground, and Shedeur Sanders is a superstar dev. That's crazy. And that's actually crazy because his development's actually gone better than some of our guys. But with them in 5 wide, I tried to go to the dime look, but Bobby Okereke in a middle linebacker, we just can't run that. It's just not going to work here, but we are going to hang with them, but they are going to the outside. And what a breakup from Dame Belton. What an absolute tone setter from the captain to help us start off this fight for the first seed well. But also Xavier McKinney's back, and that's going to be nice for us as this punt's going to be very, very deep. And Darrington Evans going to get this one to start off, and the juke move doesn't work. But finally, he's back. The guy we drafted, the guy we claimed we wanted to build this team around, Drake Maye, 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions to his name. Doesn't have a lot of yards, only 2,700. But at the end of the day, our goal is a Super Bowl here. And we're running behind Jack Nelson to start it with Saquon Barkley, who goes for 5. But I'm so excited to do this right here. Jalen Hyatt up and over the top. Can we fit it in? And Jalen Hyatt's back connecting with Drake Maye. I love it. You see, I stacked the corner there with Jalen Hyatt switching on, and we're able to go up and make the grab. And that's a really good matchup. That's Denzel Burke there. But we're going to go out to Barkley and catching balls again for us. Pause, resume, whatever. But we're going to keep this drive rolling. And the weapons across the field that we have are absolutely awesome. It's now going to be OBJ. And I know people have been yelling at me in my comments to change his number. I like him rocking the number 6. Banks has 3. Jalen Hyatt has 13, so he can't get 3, so 3 plus 3 equals 6, and, it looks kind of clean on him. But we are going to be looking end zone here. The first drive for him coming back, and we're just going to dump this over to Saquon Barkley. Can we get a good juke move? And we do. But Drake Maye starting out 4 for 4 already in this ball game. And as long as somebody could pick up Denzel Burke on the edge there, we should have a easy route into the end zone. Jalen Hyatt, what a good block coming out from him. And Saquon Barkley's back. I feel bad because it was Pierre Strong and Max Duggan who battled us to the first seed, and somehow Drake Maye gets to enjoy it. And for the second week in a row, we are just starting out strong here. Okereke, good tackle. And I'm really excited to see what moves we make this offseason. We have so many good players. A lot of trade pieces, too, to play with. But I don't know why they keep going to the run here on the first 2 drives. They're going to do a settle route here again and up the middle. That's going to be a blitz from the big fella, pinning them down to the 5-yard line here. We only brought a 4-man pressure, but we were able to get it to work. And the center got hurt on that play. And so we're bringing a rush here, and Xavier McKinney's able to almost get it. But it is going to be deep here, and we're catching it at the 50-yard line. That is absolutely awesome. Starting on the other side of the field, controlling field position. And I want to take a shot here right away. And I'm looking, I don't see anybody. We're just going to throw this one out. I'm not going to risk it. And is it bad I get scared now every single time Drake Maye gets hit? I can't have him miss any more time. But I've been looking at the bottom of the screen, waiting to see the Cowboys pop up. I haven't seen them quite yet. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as we walk away with a win here. I'm going to force this one into belly for the first. And I did decide we are not running the ball once with Drake Maye. I'm not going to allow it to happen. And if we do, we are going to slide down. At the end of the game, if we do have a pretty solid lead, what I'm actually going to do is bench some of those guys again and bring back in Max Duggan. As I did look, the Green Bay Packers, almost their entire schedule this season has been against really bad teams. But we are going to settle in this drive for a field goal from Jake Elliott. This one cannot be wide right, please. And it is going to be up and good. There's 8-mile-an-hour winds coming back at us, but we're able to make it work. And so far in this game, we've held the Green Bay Packers to negative total yards, 6 negative total yards on the day. Shedeur Sanders starts off 1 for 2 for -1. As our defense seems to be firing on all cylinders here, we're going to come underneath and almost break that one up, forcing another 3rd and long. And they're finally not coming out in 5 wide, but the slant route's there, and it's knocked out again. Bobby Okereke dropped right into it. Dane Belton made the play, and 3 straight 3-and-outs for our defense here in this one. So here we go, Evans. I'd love to see a good punt return here. Out to the outside. He's tackled down at the 34. So let's keep it rolling here in this one. Let's make sure our drives go our way out to the outside. Saquon Barkley, good juke moves. And so I want to go to a long, drawn-out play action. Try to look here to find find somebody. I'm going to go underneath, maybe to Barkley if he's able to catch it, and he does. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter where they have -6 passing yards. We're wheeling and dealing here with 10 points to show for it. And I did decide to keep Ezekiel Elliott on roster right now. I kind of like using him as a fullback. He's kind of fun to use, but Saquon Barkley's in space. Saquon Barkley's got so much space here, and we're running down. And we are just having our way right now, as long as I can fit it in the hole. And that was actually going to be our first bad run of the day. So I'm going to try to go 5 wide. Looking across the board. Odell's open underneath, and he's barely able to hold on to it. So on this 3rd and 5, we do have a corner route coming out from OBJ. I see him underneath. Jalen Hyatt's got another good grab, and the juke move comes out, and he's able to work. But we got 99 yards passing already in this ball game. More than we had last game. Crazy how much we can actually get things to work here in this one. Alberto should be open here, and we're going to try to put it in perfect accuracy. And Alberto's going to turn up the field and get down at the 1-yard line. And so our 4th string tight end was able to make plays here. We're going to a pitch play to Barkley. We're going to have to try to cut this one up, but we're not able to, as Jack Nelson's going to be banged up on the play. But I am going to go to a weak side toss, and Elliott can catch the edge. We should be able to get in here, and we do. Saquon Barkley. I said Elliott. Elliott got the edge for us. Barkley get us into the end zone, and we're up 17-0 already in this game. They really have to start going to the air here if they want things to work, because our run defense is absolutely feasting, especially when we're in this 4-3 look. Aaron Jones, 1 yard on 5 carries. We're really just daring them to go to the air, but it's just not happening across the board. As Dave Belton's in great coverage there. Another great breakup. He's just been the catalyst for our entire success so far here, as pressure's coming. If we get the breakup, and we almost do, Stingley, we're almost able to hold him to 4 straight 3-and-outs. As the unlikely heroes continue to come for us, Quay Walker's not able to catch that one, and all of a sudden the Packers were off to the races. So maybe we just need to settle back down, get back into a groove here, and see what they're doing. And they're go to the outside. McFadden makes the tackle there. But now finally the Packers have life, and that's what's going to happen in this ball game as Dane Belton gets the sack. Are you kidding me? Dane Belton, we did a zone blitz, something we don't usually do, and it worked. And Dane Belton continues to feast for us. I am in love with this defense right now, as across the middle, Sexy Dexy holds them to a 4th down, and they're going to probably take 3 here, I think. And we are going field goal safe, man. I don't trust nobody out here, but the Packers do put up the field goal. 17-3 is your score. Gonzalez puts it in. Our defense did let up some points, but we need to stay hot here in this one. And we're going to start with Jalen Hyatt to the outside on a comeback route. Nice and easy. And Hyatt's finally back for us in this one. You love to see it. Barkley's going to be way open in these flats. We just got to make one guy miss, and we do. And we're going to have a lot of space, and the spin move's going to give us the first, hopefully. But the 2-minute warning is here. 17-3 is your score in this one so far. So here we go. Let's see if we can put up another score. And I saw Jalen Hyatt on the stop route, and I just missed him. And this is where we're doing something I don't want to do. Scramble out, and we're just going to slide down. Please stop taking hits, Drake Maye. Thank you very much. And I was so worried about getting an injury here. But I'm going to chuck this one up to Odell. And it looks like he's got the burners on. Holy crap, we were able to fit it in. Drake Maye, our superstar quarterback, is back. Absolutely wheeling and dealing in this one. I saw it open. I thought maybe it'd be a jump ball opportunity for Odell to get in. But no, he completely burnt Ford there. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the safety out of Pittsburgh. Ford got burned. OBJ hit the whip, hit the nay-nay for the one time, bring back the nostalgia. And so we know they got to go to the air here if they want to get something working across the board. But Shador Sanders is going to run. Dane Belton there to stop him from running. And so we are going to go man-to-man coverage across the board. Quick out route. And I think that was Quay Walker who got burned. And it is. And they have a lot of room to run. Finally burned their first time out. So maybe we sit in a little bit more zone. Maybe we get that to work as they do go out to Austin Hooper. The old man is still in the NFL wheeling and dealing. But I don't want to really change up too much here, as I do see a deep shot opportunity here for him. Instead, they go underneath, and as long as Stingley makes a solid open field tackle, we are going to have life here. And if you do notice today, James Williams is just not playing. And that's just our decision. As Dane Belton, another great breakup. There's no way. But yeah, James Williams will not be getting a lot of playing time for us today. I decided to bench him after his poor performances. We're going to let this one drop in the end zone. And we are going to go forward here to the 3rd quarter after this Saquon Barkley run. And that's going to be all she wrote here. 8 rushes, 36 yards, 2 touchdowns. And if one man wants it more than anybody right now, it's Dane Belton, holding the Packers to 68 passing yards, 5 rushing yards. That is it on this game. And looking at the Eagles battling for that wild card spot, they also are holding the Commanders only 3 points at the half. Jalen Hurts is wheeling and dealing. Troy Franklin, 142 receiving yards already. But this is the game I am worried about here. Dallas Cowboys versus the Chiefs. And a new quarterback is in, M. Morris, as maybe Dak Prescott went down with an injury against the Eagles, and that's why they ended up losing. And the crazy thing is, we are starting with the ball here to start this second half. I'm going to try to look for a Darrington Evans kick return. We don't get it. We haven't gotten one now in a while. No worries. But I do want to slow it down in the second half, control the clock here, run it with Saquon Barkley, and let's see how it goes as he starts off with a great carry. But if we do put points up on this drive, I think I'm going to bring Max Duggan back in to avoid any injury here. So let's keep this this rolling here. Saquon, enough for the first down, hopefully, and we don't. It is a 3rd and 2, and this will be a huge play for us in this ball game. I'm going to cut it up right behind a Bellinger block on the outside, and I am finally going to use this here to set up this play action. We have a lot of time in the pocket, and I'm looking, and we do take a bad sack. I should have thrown it a lot earlier. Preston Smith in for the sack, and the man whose esports org I did stream under for this past summer ends up sacking me, which is great. Hall of Fame gaming, shout out. But that was such a bad sack I took right there. But if Jack Nelson can get the block, never mind, dude. We get these yards back instantly. Saquon Barkley breaking tackles, picks up the first down from 21 yards out. And I love the way our offense is moving right now. A backside screen play is going to have Jalen Hyatt making it a 3rd and 1. And I do just want to pick up this first down here. I'm looking across. Maybe we could force this one to Hyatt, and he does make the grab again. So our standard offense is back. The guys that we need are back here, as I am looking across, and we're just going to try to throw, but we do get hit again. And I really am really getting worried about some of these hits we're taking. So on this 3rd and 9, we are going to take off here, actually with Drake Maye. And we have a lot of space here, and Drake Maye's going to get his way all the way into the end zone. I said no running with him, but that play just opened up perfectly for us, and Drake Maye is able to do what Max Duggan was doing a little bit with these rushing touchdowns. And we're going to put in Max Duggan for the rest of this game. Pierre Strong's going to come in. Jalen Hyatt's going to come out. Ladd McConkey's going to come in. We're going to go to the backups here in this one because I don't want anybody to get injured, and I want to lock down this first seed without any problems at all. And Andrew Thomas is going to come out as well. And so our defense is also coming in with some of our backups here in this game. Micah McFadden with a good tackle there, still holding Aaron Jones not a single yard rushing on the day. But this is still a very important part for us right now because I really need to see what players on our roster are going to get more playing time next year and what guys do we want to bring back on contracts, because 14 of these guys are not going to be back next year. 14 of these guys' contracts run up. And so on defense, you got guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, Christian Harris, and Corey Foreman sitting there at the linebacking core. And then Dante Corleone, a draft pick that just hasn't panned out for us at all in this one, as Trey Hawkins, who's fighting from our practice squad to maybe get a roster spot next year, doesn't make the play. So some of the guys we have to leave in this game are some of the safeties. Xavier McKinley's going to have to stay in this game as a flag now comes out. And it's going to be a holding to back up the Packers. So even our backup defense is having a little bit of success in this one. You got to love it. And Dane Belton is also going to stay in the field here, but Bobby Okereke is actually in on this package and not able to clean him up. And against this 5 wide, we are doing a zone blitz, and they hit us easily across the middle. Christian Harris can't finish him off, and he gets carried up for a little bit of yards. But I'm surprised they haven't gone to the air more. But they are going to go underneath once again. Christian Harris this time was able to finish it off, but that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 31-3 is your score. I don't think we won a game this handedly in Giants franchise yet. That's a great way to end the season. Secure the #1 seed, and we have one more quarter to do it. And we do need to see here in Giants franchise who we are going to play in our final game. I got the running back here on lock. Hawkins is going to be able to make a tackle. 4th and 5, we know that they're going to go for it. Out to the outside, Hawkins was there, and we're able to tackle him short. Hawkins making a great play from the zone spot. And so coming out at quarterback for us is going to be Max Duggan, and a running back, Darrington Evans, somebody we haven't played a lot at running back this season. And so we are going to just continue to try to drive the ball down the field, even with our backups in. But these may be Darrington Evans' only snaps for us at running back, and he's having no luck so far, so I feel so bad. And I did give him a multi-year contract, but I don't know how long that's going to stay for us here as Duggan's scrambling out. I can't get that ball to Brevin Jordan. His arm's not strong enough, but I do want to get the ball in Evans' hands once again. He's a good guy in open space. Let's see what we can do here. The blocks are picked up, and the first down almost able to get, and we're just going to punt this ball away. And they're not going to run the ball once at all, but we are going to run out with the wheel, and we were just a little bit late. But holding the Packers today has just been a great thing, and they do run the football. I don't understand why they're running the football this late in the game unless they've already given up on it. And Aaron Jones with 11 carries only has 22 yards, so what a good game for us as a interception from Belton. I tried to switch on. That'd be a great way to end this season, but they're definitely not going to be running hurry up at all as this one underneath doesn't quite get there. Let's see if we can get a stop here. That'd be awesome. We're running with the underneath, and they just throw it up here. Cordero Flott getting burned in coverage, and that's not a good look coming out from the star dev, 4th CB on our roster, because he's going to be a huge trade piece for us moving forward at this point, because I don't think he's going to get any playing time. And I can definitely see a draft pick coming our way forward here as Cordero Flott gets burned again. But down on the 4-yard line, they are going to go to the air, and Rodriguez is going to allow the touchdown from Reed. So Reed now up, completing one of the best Packers receivers season since Devontae Adams with that touchdown grab. But that's going to be the end of the game. We're going to take it and be done with this week, move on to the playoffs. Let's go ahead before we end this episode real quick and see what team we're going to be facing as the #1 seed. We secured it. We completed our goal for this episode, and that is going to be all she wrote. But the game is over. Let's take a look at the stats real quick before we go in here. Drake Maye absolutely balled out, 16 to 20 for 200. Saquon Barkley, 85 yards rushing, 5.6 yards per carry is awesome. And receiving, Jalen Hyatt's back, but you know who had a bad day? Keon Coleman. So that's kind of interesting to see. But Trey Hawkins got picked up off the practice squad, finished the game with the most amount of tackles. That is just awesome to see across the board. With pass deflections, Dane Belton absolutely having himself a day. You love to see it. And so going forward now into the playoffs, we have to see what the final playoff bracket looks like. And at the number 1 seed, you love to see it. We're either going to have to play probably the Dallas Cowboys or Philadelphia Eagles, depending if they walk away with wins in that game, unless the Atlanta Falcons could pull one off. And we got a Daniel Jones rematch in the playoffs. The storyline from that would be absolutely fantastic. But that's going to be all she wrote for this episode. We went through, we completed our goal. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed. Seriously, the support on Giants franchise has been awesome. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you come playoff time.